Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the PiGosaur Cup. PiGosaur Cup number 88, your weekly dose of PiGosaur Cup action. I'm of course VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players and by the ByuN chat as well. Welcome one all to another week of PiGosaur Cup. A very special edition, by the way, because this is not just a new patch, this is the new patch. A hotfix was applied merely a couple of hours ago, and now we are live with said hotfix. Let's go. Let us go. This morning in the other hand corner of Lockdown, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Mexican Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Exerted Esports. It is Cham. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we are diving into our fresh best of. Meanwhile, a big shout to Este Zerg Troll in the chat. Papiga, Este Zerg Troll. Good to see you after quite some time. I know you. I do recognize you drop by every now and then, but thank you so much for the support. Subscribing for 17 months, Papi. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Gracias, Papi. Gracias. As we are selling into our series, just catching on up in chat. Hola, bienvenidos. Buenos dias. As again, we're jumping into our fresh series, fresh best of 3. Welcome to Lockdown. Lockdown is an interesting map, and the map pool does have a ramp coming into the natural base, of course. A ramp to the natural with a much more defendable 2-base setup. And meanwhile, the third base on the low ground is a little bit more exposed. The low base on the high ground third base, though, is much more defendable as well. We often do see a secure 3-base setup in towards the mid game, but we'll see if we can get there as we embrace our ZVT on the brand new shiny hotfix version of the patch. Catching up, Matthew. Early to stream, not the first quacker. 17 months and no first quack. Oh no. It's good to see you again. Good to see you. Este Zerg Troll. But also welcome everyone else, of course. Bienvenidos. When it comes to the hotfix itself, there have been some changes made. A couple of changes, of course, are the change to the Reaper, the change to the adapted build time. We will discuss it a little bit further tomorrow during the podcast. We will have you covered there with a little bit more of an in-depth analysis. When it comes to this matchup and what is going to be affected, one, the Reaper arrives a little bit later. The reasoning for this is because we saw a lot of pull first builds out of Zerg players to be able to defend against the first Reaper because it was arriving so quickly, and hatch first was less viable. So we saw a lot of pull first out of Zerg players, and this is to make hatch first now the norm, and that come into play. I believe that is the rationale behind slowing down both the Adept and the Reaper. Meanwhile, the larva production rate, the respawn rate, has been increased. Again, it was 10.7 initially, then it went down to 9, then up to 9.5, and now it's 9.9 seconds. Still faster than the previous patch, of course, but now it is going to be slower compared to the previous PTR version of the game, and we'll see if that does help, because again, Zerg has been overtuned in all Zerg matchups, ZVT and ZVP, to the point where Protoss and Terran players are forced to all in every single game for the past week of play. As Reaper does arrive, will threaten the mineral line, a drone's going to be pulled away. Nice control here by Cham, does save all of his weakened workers, does save his drones. So it's with the Reaper. At the same time, opted to skip his Ling production. Okay, bold move here by Chen. Just purely a Queen defense. Will drone, will saturate, will defend, and will be able to maintain their economy for the most part. The Reaper does dip back in, but again, the Queen is keeping up. The Queen will defend. Cham is opting to go for a delayed third base, so staying on 2 bases a little bit longer, getting up to 2-base saturation. Meanwhile, ByuN going for a straight up 1-1-1. Okay, despite the change to the lava rates, we do have a much more aggressive follow-up here from ByuN. Still 1-1-1, hyper aggression. I say hyper aggression, more aggressive build here, going for a delayed third TC. This puts a lot of onus on ByuN to get damage done with his Hellions and with his Banshees. The issue here, though, is that Cham is playing very safe by staying on 2 bases, and most likely will get into Roach play as well. Like, Roach play is the bread and butter for Cham. He's very fond of Roach play, and that's kind of what we're expecting out of Cham coming in towards the mid game. For now, once he's reached 2-base saturation, third hatchery is now on the way for Cham. Helly is still going to be massing. Here comes that add-on slope into said Banshee. Let's go. Let us go. I forgot my Twitch password. Been a while since before SCL. No. Este Zerg Troll. Been watching the whole series on SDU Cast. Ah, there you go. Light makes us spines and sunkens every time. Like, look, you understand what I mean, okay? When I say spine crawlers or sunken crawlers, look, it's the same thing. It's fine. I think there are some times where I say like prism instead of like shuttle, or vice versa. Or I think there are some other examples, like dropship instead of medevac, or vice versa. Yeah. Like, you get me, it's fine. Don't worry about it, don't worry about it. I usually correct myself like soon after. For now though, we do have our Banshee moving out. Again, Cloak is being researched. Behind this, Cham has yet to scout, has not dipped into the main base, is not fully aware as to what's going on, has scouted the Hellions, is aware of at least the 1-1-1 follow-up, maybe 3CC, maybe not. Now is able to actually not quite confirm the third command center, but Spores are finishing up in time to defend. The Banshee shouldn't get too much done, at least harassing, but that's a lot of Hellions here for ByuN. He's going to be moving out with 8 Hellions, and he's looking to dive into a mineral line. Does catch the active tumor. Nice pick off. Queen's in position. Hellions, they do poke in, but they don't quite commit. They poke in for a moment. Banshee into the main base. Again, the Spore does defend. Queens are trying to keep up as Banshee does hit the natural now. And does get one. And gets one drone so far. We'll catch some transferring drones as well. Very fortunate here, catching up to 3. Yeah, 3 drone kills. Oh, Hellions they poke in between the bases, clearing up all the creep. Once again, there's no overseer here, and looks like we have a bit of a lag spike once again. What's going on? Again, I still don't know if it's a server or not, but like every now and then on the US server, like bam, we just spike up to like 2000 ping. Like what? But we know it's been happening to other casters and other players. But there we go, 11 drone kills here. The Banshee does dip in between bases. We're still not done. No, we're still not done. Getting up to 14, 15, 16 drone kills. And can we force a cancel? The hatchery does complete. Cham in a moment of desperation. Counterattack. He just floods across the map. But we have a full wall. Oh no! Okay, that was close. We have a full wall here on the high ground. Hellions are still being active. Banshees are still alive. Finally, one of them goes down. The second one as well, but not before 17 drone kills. Again, brutal damage is being dealt. 17 drones. The Hellions, they do rotate back in. They head into the mineral lines, and more drones are falling. Yeah, more drones are going down. GG gets called critical damage, and ByuN, through sheer harass, takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. ByuN pulling a bit of a Clem here, going straight up 1-1-1, going for a late expansion, a late third TC in favor of aggression. If you recall, we mentioned that the pressure was on ByuN. If ByuN failed to do damage, ByuN would fall behind, 100%. So ByuN, he had to get damage done, and boy did he. With that pressure being on him, he was able to pull apart the defenses of Cham and deal critical damage. GG. GG, well played, as ByuN takes the lead, and now we're jumping to game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting into our second game, we're going to be loading into at Attorney's Edge, and we'll see if Cham can tighten up his defenses and be able to minimize losses here. Once again, I don't think Cham was able to fully recognize the build of choice. Cham knew that it was a 1-1-1 variation, but again, I don't think he was able to confirm early enough whether there was a third TC or not. The Overlord was a little bit later to go into the main base to scout, and we saw a bit of a lackluster defense there from Cham. He was keeping up with the Queens for a time, but eventually damage was found, damage was done. As we are loading into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of At Attorney's Edge, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN for Shopify. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself, the Mexican Zerg. It is Cham. Let's go. Let us go. How about you show us your pants? Ah, you're an animal. It's too cold, Pappy. It's too cold. Ah, I can't find them. They're gone. Ah, no. Ay. Yes. We're here again, number 2 here. And again, game 1 was relatively straightforward in regards to the builds of choice. I mean, it came down to Cham's reaction to his execution of defense and having a bit of a harder time keeping up and maybe even lacking a bit of link production. And again, we expected Roach play, but there was no Roach one at Cham either, so it was a little bit more vulnerable to that aggression. But let's go. Ah. It's a secret. Oh, no. But yeah, definitely a positive thing that we've had our hotfix here earlier this morning. I know that it did disrupt a qualifier. I know the RSL European qualifier was this morning, and I believe the hotfix happened mid-series, so I was less than ideal for the EU qualifier. But outside of that, it's definitely a good thing that we've had our change, and definitely good to hear that they're willing to make some more changes as well coming into the next couple of weeks. I'm sure they're going to be waiting for Home Story Cup to occur and then taking feedback from Home Story Cup, which will be over the weekend. There are some people that have been asking about Home Story Cup as well, whether we're going to be casting. We actually were offered to cast Home Story Cup as a B stream, but we did decide to turn it down. I mentioned earlier that right now the European events are very, very late, and it is nice to have a semblance of sleep. So we will not be covering Home Story Cup this year. Maybe another time. Maybe. But yeah, we're trying to be responsible. We're trying to cut back on some of the DGen casting that we've been doing, and actually have a semblance of a schedule. We're trying. For now, though. For now, ranks expand. We do have our relatively, standard opener here from ByuN into factory, and we'll see if he goes for another 1-1-1 or not. Eyes are going to be on ByuN, as ByuN does cut some corners here. And if you noticed, no SCV Scout. No SCV Scout by ByuN, and also no Reaper Scout either. So ByuN is going to be cutting corners here. He's cutting corners, he's being greedy, and we'll see if he is able to get away with it. Meanwhile, Cham does recognize, of course, hold up, you're skipping Reapers, you're skipping Scouting, you're skipping SCVs, going for a cheeky Roach Horn there. There it is. Gas is mined. Gas is continuing to be mined. Second gas gadget on the way. Roach Horn gets thrown down. As I mentioned, this is the opportune moment for a Roach all-in. Why is that? Because ByuN is playing blind, right? ByuN is cutting corners. This is the time to all-in a Terran, and we'll see if Cham can pull this off. We'll see if he can punish ByuN for the lack of vision and lack of scouting. Let's go. Let's go. It's crowdfund lights trip to Home Story. Oh, no. No shot. No shot. The dream, one day to maybe go. One day, but... It's quite a trip, Pat. It's quite a trip. For now, Roach Horn does finish. Roach Horn does complete. We do have our 6 roaches on the way, and again, ByuN doesn't know what's going on. Behind this, ByuN is going for a 1-1-1 at least. He's not rushing into a third TC, so at least ByuN isn't being too greedy in the aftermath of the greedy build. But again, he's still going to be vulnerable here. There's no bunker, there's no tank production, there's no Sankum production either. It's going to be Hellions, and Hellions, they struggle against the roaches, and here comes Cham. He is going to be pulling the trigger. He's going to be rushing across the map. ByuN, he will scout this ahead of time with the Hellions at least, so he will have a couple of seconds to react. And with those couple of seconds, he can pull the boys and try to evacuate the natural. So we'll see if he does end up doing so. Behind this, we do see the Banshees on the way. We're trying to amass up some Hellions, but again, it's going to be a tough hold here for Cham, because, tough hold for ByuN, as Cham is completely all in. Completely all in with flooding Lings, flooding Roaches, flooding Ravagers as well. We're going to try to make a stand, and there is going to be that one Banshee, and that will help focus on the Ravagers at least. But oh boy. Has control with the Lings. They pull away. Lings pull away. ByuN, he evacuates the low ground. Yeah, it does evacuate. Killing this depot will supply block ByuN. Yeah, it's going to be supply blocked. Banshee has arrived, going for the first Ravager. Ravager is going to be focused down. Ooh, doesn't land a bile. But again, the army should break through that wall. Second Ravager falls. Down to 1. 1 Ravager left. Oh, going for Cloak. Okay. Yeah, Cloak is going to be denied. A nice pickup. Denies Cloak. Moves further in. Lings, they head for the mineral line. Oh, decent Hellion volley. Yeah, Hellion shot's going to be going off. Lings, they do clump up. Ooh, Lings, they get roasted. Roaches are getting to the mineral line, but ByuN, he will hold. He will clean this up. Very nice movement here by ByuN, pulling back into the mineral line, catching out all those Lings. And ByuN, how many SCVs did he just lose? 0. Oh, 0 SCV kills. Again, ByuN, he was so patient to pull back to the mineral line to minimize any kind of losses. 0 workers lost, and Cham is falling behind. Cham, that was meant to kill, by the way. That was supposed to kill. Failed to kill. There's no third expansion. Minimal droning as well. Now we're going into 2-base, a lair into 2-base Spire. Desperation move here by Cham. And this needed more damage. Again, one of the reasons why this did so little, of course, is that ByuN was able to scout ahead of time, was able to react, was able to evacuate the mineral line, lose 0 SCVs, and just play it safe. Play it safe. Shout out to the MVP Banshee, of course, focusing down those Ravagers one after the other. And yeah, this is a brutal position. And again, I don't fault Cham for the build. Like the build made perfect sense to do based on what ByuN was doing. But again, like he got scattered in the center here by the Xel'Naga Tower, by the Hellions, of course. ByuN, he reacted well enough. You could definitely make an argument that maybe Cham shouldn't have wasted time on those 2 depots. Because he did kill those 2 depots, that did give enough time for ByuN to focus on some of the Ravagers with the Banshee before we could really make use of the Biles. So there's that, maybe that one bit of criticism when it comes to the urgency of pushing up the ramp, breaking into the main base, and getting into the mineral line. As that would have allowed for maybe like 2 extra Biles, and of course some extra Ravager DPS as well. I keep wanting to say Raven, some extra Ravager DPS, like maybe, but even then that might not have been enough, because that's still only, we're still only talking about like a couple of seconds being shaved off, like maybe 10 seconds. Oh. Meanwhile, the mutas will shut down the initial Banshees. 4 drones going to be going down. Cham going for Ninja Base. Okay, sure. Does expand here on the top side. And mutas have been revealed. Back at home, we have mines and we have marines. Yeah, the marines and mines are setting up. Oh, setting up a trap here behind the factories and next to the steam vents. Mutas they pick in. Uh oh, they rotate towards the main. Up. Oh, the mine shots! They connect! Oh my god! 1, 2, 3! 3 more! God, oh, the unicorn! GG gets caught! Oh no! The trap, Abby! There were 4 mines behind the factory. GG, well played, and with that, ByuN will claim the series 2-0. We'll advance on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Again, Cham, unfortunately, I mean, he was already in a really rough position to begin with, even if the mutas didn't go down there. But ByuN, he set up the trap, he laid the trap, set up behind the factory, behind the steam vents as well. And Cham, he was not fast enough to react. Didn't quite notice. GG. GG, well played. With that, ByuN will claim the series 2-0, and we will get into our next round. Let's go! Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Let's catch up on that bracket, and let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. It's a trap app, yeah. ByuN ending the series with some flair, Pappy, with some flair. GG, well played. Cham is out, ByuN is in. ByuN will advance onto the semifinals, and ByuN is waiting for the winner of Solar versus Nicorette. Meanwhile, in the upper bracket, we have Clem versus Geralt in a TVP. We have Kira versus Camo in a TVP as well. Camo gets a walkover win over Percival. I hope everything's okay with Percival. I don't know if you noticed, but Percival has been very MIA as of late. Has been very missing in action. Has been a little bit unavailable in recent times. Heading over to the Korean server. As we just got an update, Solar takes out Nicorette 2-0, and we have a ZVT between Solar and ByuN. For those that are curious, that's the reason why we jumped into the lower portion of the bracket first. We were looking and eyeing Solar versus ByuN, especially with the new lava changes that were made a couple of hours ago. We do want to see like how ZVT has changed, if at all, and how the mid game especially is going to be impacted by said changes. Curious. Very curious. As Vitas are underway, and we're soon to jump in. For now, though, we're going to be going on a short break. Going to be going on a very short break. When we come back, we'll have ByuN versus Solar. That'll be in a best of 5. Bear that in mind. Best of 5, not a best of 3, coming up next in the semifinals. See you soon. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals or semifinals here of the PiGosaur Cup number 88. We're here with a spicy TVZ here, a best of 5 at that. Let's go. Let's jump in. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Sanctuary 3, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the red Zerg. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's go. Is the music louder than normal? Am I? I'm like 28. Okay. I don't know, it felt like the music was blaring a little bit louder than normal, which was a little bit weird. But again, we're a couple of hours into the new hotfix, into the new patch, so maybe, you know, some things have changed here and there. Regardless, we're jumping into our fresh series. Coming into this, it's a little bit harder to call here. If this was yesterday, I would favor Solar, but now that we have a new day, a new hotfix, a new patch, then we'll see. We'll see how ByuN can hold his own against Solar. I'm really curious to see how the larva change will impact the mid-game. Likewise, so winding it back a little bit, we spoke about it during the Cham series, but the Reaper production has been increased a little bit. The reasoning for this is because previously the Reaper was arriving a little bit too fast and was able to punish the mineral line and harass quite heavily in the early game. Because of that, we saw a lot of pull first in ZVT. Now, because that changed, the goal is to allow for hatch first to be much more viable. So hatch gas pool is going to be, hatch pool gas even is going to be the opener here for Solar. And I will say that when it comes to the Reaper change, this might negatively impact TVP, just because proxy 2x Reaper is a thing in TVP, and that might be impacted by the increased production time on the Reaper. That is definitely a possibility. I'm not entirely certain though. Like, we'll have to, you know, testing required. We'll see if it becomes less viable or still becomes something that's accessible. But in my mind, like, that's the other influencing factor is Reaper openers against Zerg, but also proxy 2x Reaper against Protoss. Another. Again, it was the earlier pool. We do have 6 things on the way. Queens are amassing as well. ByuN will poke in, and welcome to Sanctuary 3. Sanctuary 3 does have a very secure 2-base setup with the ramp coming into the natural. Likewise, the low ground 3rd base is a little bit more exposed, of course, and a little bit more vulnerable. ByuN does poke in, and Solar should be able to minimize losses. Did make extra lings, by the way. Yeah, it did make an extra pair, just to be safe. I mean, again, did even go pool before gas, which I don't know if it's quite necessary anymore, but does play it a little bit safer. We'll zone, we'll defend, and we'll pull out a gas. Yeah, it does pull out. But now we're calming down, we're settling in. Oh, my apologies, I'll fix up the title. Yeah, I got you, I got you. Behind this, once again, ByuN is going for another 1-1-1. We saw this against Cham, we're seeing it here as well. So ByuN is going for a delayed third CC, a delayed economy, in favor of something more aggressive here. Now, last time this led into double Banshee into 8 Hellions, and ByuN was able to pull Cham apart. I will say that this is an easier map to defend on, though, so we'll see if ByuN can find anywhere near as much damage against Solar. We'll see. Oh, pokes in, and will snipe the tumor. Jesus. Del snipe the tumor. ByuN barely pulls away. Behind this, we have more Hellions in production as well, going to be rallying across the map. And so far, Solar, he is holding his own. But again, we'll see if he can keep up with the Hellion plus Banshee harass. As here comes that Banshee with Cloak. Again, there are layers to this aggression. For now, ByuN just poking, prodding, just testing the waters. And for the most part, no damage should really be done here outside of the tumors being picked away at. This time, the tumor will survive. Soldier zoning away. Behind this, we're joining with saturating. We are now pulling into gas. Transferring over towards our 3rd. There is a bit of an opening here. Oh. ByuN doesn't quite commit. Yeah, ByuN is tempted. Oh. Rotates over. Solar does react in time. So far, so good. Solar, he's holding, he's defending. ByuN looking for another way in. At the same time, Solar being a little bit cheeky here, does sneak out some lings. Does skirt around the edge of the map. As ByuN rotates back around and Soul's out of position. Oh yeah, it is slightly out of position here. 3 drones going to be going down for 1 Hellion, and not a bad trade here for ByuN. At the same time, Lings they move in, but they're defensive. Hellion's back at home, and the Lings they shouldn't get much done here. Yeah, they are deflected. ByuN holds. ByuN he defends, he attacks. Behind this lair first out of Solar. That's a lair before Bailey Nest, before Roachworm, before Eva Chamber. It's a little bit safer. It does allow for earlier Overseers and scouting. Oh, but the Banshee has arrived and the Spore's not ready. The Spore, yeah, late Spore to Solar. Ay. Lings they poke in. They don't kill any workers. Hellions to go for the dive. That's going to be 5 drones going down at the natural. Already some brutal damage being dealt. As Spores are now done on all the bases, but again, this has already paid for itself. And we're still not done. Catching out another drone. Oof, another 2 drone kills, 7, 8 drones going down. The Banshee finally falls. The reaction out of ByuN. Second Banshee has arrived. Finding more damage. Getting it to 10 drone kills, 11. 11 drones going down. The Hellions, they find the Queens. Oof. Oh my god, as workers line up. That's another 3 workers falling. 14. This is too much. This is too much damage. 14 drone kills. Ay. Solo once again getting a little bit desperate. Moving out across map. Back at home, we have a full wall. I will say that the 3rd CC again was delayed, but this is worth it. Like ByuN has done more than enough killing 14 workers. Banshee's still alive. Hellions pull away. We do have Solo going into Ling Bane Muta. And we'll see if ByuN can recognize what's going on. Oh. As ByuN denies more creep. Ooh, even delays the 3rd. Oh, sorry, delays the 4th. Delays the expansion. Keeping Solo busy. Banshee moving back in. Finding 1 more drone. 2. 1. Okay. Sorry, 2. Yeah, 2 drones going down. That, I believe that was the 4th base building worker plus the drone here on the right hand side. As ByuN now secures his 3rd. And we'll see if Solo can stabilize with said Muta play. Remember, the Spire has not been scouted. True. ByuN's not aware. He's not aware of the Mutas, not aware of the Spire. But ByuN, he's just pushing regardless, going for a 7-minute push now with all of his tanks, with Stim, with combat shields. 1-1 is going to finish up mid-fight. ByuN has a lot of momentum here. And Solar, he's going to defend with slow Banes. Bailing speed will be done soon, but will it be done in time? Mutas spotted. Does catch 1. ByuN stims in, and Solar has to buy time. He has to buy time for Bailing speed. There's a cancel. Mutas a counterattack. Bailing speed finishing up in 5 seconds. Okay, it will be done in time. And Mutas will find some damage here. Getting 3, 4, 5 SCVs. 4. 4 workers going down. And ByuN doesn't gain any ground, but he does catch a queen. Oh, almost. He does get away. Towers say defend back at home. ByuN pushing in. We're going to gain more ground. And what's really hurting Solar here is less so about the economic damage being done here, but more so about the lack of growth here for Solar, as he has no 4th base. Like, the 4th base is very late for Solar. ByuN has the greater economy and is looking to outscale Solar. Oh, Solar does catch some reinforcements. Catching at the Hellions. ByuN, he's trapped. Uh-oh. Yeah, ByuN, he has to either try to reinforce his army or try to backstab and try to distract. Here comes Solar collapsing in, and Solar will clean this up. Yeah, collapsing on the tanks, on the Marines, nice tank shelter on the Bailings. Marines, they lift up into the main. Again, this will be cleaned up, just trying to trade as best as possible, as efficiently as possible. Getting an Overlord, trading with Lings. Nice focus firing. Gets 1 Mutalisk. Gets 2. Okay. 2 Mutas go down. And again, Solar is still just now saturating his 4th base. ByuN keeping up the pace. Going for another double drop. Widow Mines are amassing as well. This is something that I didn't quite touch on here, but Widow Mines are going to be much more impactful here compared to previously. To the point where even dragging mines is going to be much more difficult. For those that are curious, the Widow Mine, the time that it takes for the Widow Mine shot to be triggered, it has been reduced, so it does shoot faster. So that means the idea of trying to micro against mines or trying to drag mines is going to be much more difficult. Not impossible, but difficult. So as a result, this will mean that Lingbane Muta specifically is going to be a little bit weaker. It may incentivize more Lingbane Hydra instead. Oh, Magic goes off. And catching us on the Mutas. Thor has arrived as well. Soul's going to be zoned away. He does attempt to catch the Mutas. And both armies are maxing out. Whew, okay, both armies are maxing. We'll see if ByuN does react in time. He does. Ooh, Jesus. Does pick up. Jumping into the main base. Again, we'll lose these Marines. But again, just trading as best he can. Catching out one more Mutalisk. Does get one more. Main army pushing on the right hand side. Head towards the southern base. Soul is in position. ByuN a little bit late to react. Lose the Widow Mine. Mine goes down. Solar cannot push off a creep. ByuN maintaining his position. Will zone away. Yeah, we'll look to zone. At the same time, does catch some of the queens. Not bad. Gets one. Almost two. Lingbane comes in, and ByuN does pick up in time. It does manage to pull away. Oh, the retardy. And Solar trying to engage through the slow zones here. Ay, ay, ay. We gotta respect the slow zones, Pappy. Respect them. ByuN making use of the terrain, once again going for a split push. And again, ByuN has had a lot more momentum here. Solar's been late to drone, late to saturate, late to take up. Can still take a fight though. Unable to collapse in. Yeah, ByuN reacts well. Oof. Zones back to Lingbane. Yeah, does zone back. Solar, he's trying to work towards Ultra Tech. But I'm still not too confident that he'll be able to defend his fourth. As his fourth base is still looking quite exposed. Actually, knock down the rocks. Okay. Knock down the towers. Buying more time. This will buy some time. Oh. Widow Mine goes down. ByuN will make his way in. And this choke point may actually work against the Zerg player now. Tries to move in. Show some line shots. Ooh, decent connection. Just the one. Yeah, just the one. Here's ByuN. He does still trade well at the choke point, but does not break in. Doesn't break into the bases. ByuN rotating on the top side. Solar still trying to keep up. And the fifth base goes down. Yeah, we'll lose the fifth. Sorry, the sixth. Sixth base falls. Ultra Tech is still on the horizon. There's going to be a big power spike with Ultras if Soul can last that long. That's a big if though. Yeah, massive mine shots going off. Queens go down. ByuN is gaining ground. There's no more Banelings. There's only one. Ooh, one Baneling connects, but only one Baneling. And Soul's being pulled apart. He can barely not keep up. Marines, they break through. Again, 0 Banelings left. They're racing on over. And this base will fall. Yeah, the expansion will fall. Oh my god. Yeah, mine shots connecting. We're trying to force friendly fire. Oh, can we force it? Oh my god. Banelings, they finally arrive. It's still not enough. Oh, it might be. Nah, not even. Oh my god, so many meters go down at the same time. Solar, he cannot defend. Southern base goes down. Northern base as well. That's going to be 18 drone kills. Hatchery falls. Ay, ay, ay. Solar saves the fourth, but he will lose the sixth base and the fifth. Losing 2 bases, losing a mineral line. Ultras are now arriving. Is it going to be enough though? We have how many? Ooh, 4, soon to be 6. Okay, 6 ultras. Oh. 6 ultras on the way. Bearing in mind that there are no ghosts, so ghost snipes are not going to be a factor here. How many marauders? Only 4. Only 4 marauders. We're trying to go back into marauder production. Ultras, they can help solar stabilize. They can help. But ByuN has momentum on his side. Something that's really hurting here is that if you're cool, solo will solve his queens. So crease spread is very limited. Oh no! Mutas, they get caught out, going through the ByuN army. Yeah, catching out, what, 4 or 5 mutas. Double drop on the bottom side. Denying the 5th. And ByuN does keep pushing. Yeah, ByuN is not stopping. We have 6 ultras coming in from behind though. Oh, the ultras. Mind will say, ooh, a bit of friendly fire. Yeah, we do see a drag there on the Marines. Banelings go down, we pick up, we drop into the main. Mutas are catching reinforcements, but we can drop behind the mineral line. And dealing more economic damage, catching up more drones. 6 drone kills. Ultras that cannot keep up. Oof. And Mutas are being punished. And over time, Soul is just running out of steam. He's running out of steam, running out of army. He's running out, Bappy. Oof. And once again, nice target firing on the ByuN. And the ultras, they're quite tanky, they're quite beefy, but they don't shoot up. They don't shoot up. We just pick up, we just drop, we just rotate. Ah. As ByuN keeps rallying. And we still have 7 ultras. Like, I don't think a single ultra has gone down this game. They've been building up over time. But ByuN still has the better economy. Can still outscale. Yeah, especially as creepers receding. The creep is receding here. Catching out the final active tumor. Are there enough marauders? Okay, there's still 7 ultras with transfuse. Oh, the mine shots. Ooh, mine shots, they go up on the Ling Bane. Yeah, no more Link Bay left. Ultras on their own, they're so fragile, they need support. Now we get the Infestors. It feels a little bit too little too late, but Infestors are on the way. They're coming. Solo does get across the map. Mutas, they do overwhelm the mineral line. Okay, damage is being done. This can get out of hand at the same time though. Hatchery falls, losing 2 bases. The 4th and the 5th go down. Nice fungal. Yeah, very nice fungal growth. Catching us some of the bio. Mine shots going off as well. Oh my god, running through the minefield. Yeah, much more mine shots going off. Bearing in mind, because the wood mine shot takes less time to actually shoot, it means that there's a higher chance that actually gets a shot off before going down to something like this. True. So extra shots off for the ultras. And Soul is broke. He's down to 1 patch at the 3rd, nothing in the natural, nothing in the main base. So the 4th base here is trying to get fully saturated. This is the most important mining base here for Solar. The most important base. As Solar is double expanding. ByuN on the flip side, he has a fresh mining base here in the center, base here on the left, and taking another CC on top left as well, which, oh my god, the Mule Hammer! As you mentioned, like, ByuN is outscaling. Like, the soup is lying to you. The soup tells you, like, oh, the supplies are close, they're even. Nah. It's not the case, Bappy. As ByuN jumps in, taking down another expansion, another hatchery. The base goes down. Again, Solar still has no efficient mining. Back down to 1 base. ByuN does pull away. Something that we're seeing here as well is that gases are mining up faster, which I would say is a positive thing. But the amount of gas available at each base has been reduced this patch. Or this hotfix. Was reduced. Basically, it means that turtling up on 4 bases is less viable than in the previous patch. Less viable, less resources. That's more impactful when it comes to, say, turtle heavy like Terran play or ZVP as well. As now we commit in. Once again, we get some decent fungals. And nice fungals on the main army. The ultras, they do trade well. They're very low, but they survive. Again, nice fight out of Solar. Solar, he's re-establishing his bases, taking his 4th and his 5th and his 6th base. Bases are getting back up and running. Oh, the ultras. Oh no, they finally go down. 3 ultras fall. Massive pickup. Infestor as well. Some heavy losses here for Solar. Well, there's the first 3. Yeah, the first 4. The first 4 ultras falling. Finally, they go down. Solar can't afford to make more. You can't afford them, Bappy. Mine's popping up. Ultras are exposed. Solar can keep moving in at the same time. We do have a backstab. Oh my god, how many turrets did they defend? Jesus. That's a lot of turrets. It is, they find some CCs. They distract ByuN. Killing one command center. Solar's up to 5 ultras. And again, we do land a couple of fungals here, but oh my god, the infestors go down. That was still worth it for ByuN. Very worth it. Catching 3 infestors. Ultras again, they're on their own. Mine shots going up. ByuN kiting well off a creep. He does kite well. At the same time, we're going for an ultra run by. Let's go. Let's go for the run by. Counter drop at the same time. Will be cleaned up, but that's still going to be 10 drone kills. Remember, ByuN has mules. The warrior count is less impactful for ByuN. Does mean less for the Terran. They have mules back. Oh. Oh god, as we just tank the mine shots to the face. Hello. Yeah, oh my god, another mine shot. Yeah, the mine shots are brutal. Not like this. Oof. Yeah, the mines, they're popping off. Happy. Nice fungal. Yeah, nice kind of fungal, but alas. Solar's still trying to break through. Yeah, more mine shots connecting. We just tank the mine shots to the face time and time again. Oh god. And Solar, he will deny 1 base at least, but there wasn't really much mining going on. There wasn't much mining. Solar pushing in towards the planetary. ByuN now can make a stand. At the same time, he takes out another hatchery, another expand. Bases get in. Massive connections. Oh, we saved them. We save a handful of SCVs. 11 workers go down. ByuN turns back around to race back home to defense. And Solar, again, his army isn't quite getting any larger. Does kill an expansion. But ByuN is coming home. And ByuN has a more formidable army. More formidable, just a stronger force. Gets 1, gets 2, gets all 3 ultras. All 3 ultras go down. Oof. Manchester as well. GG gets caught. Solar, he's out of steam. And ByuN, he will claim game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. ByuN, he will take a lead in the series, and he was able to hold his own quite nicely here. I will say there was a decent balance here when it comes to Solar, his production, but also ByuN, he was able to be very aggressive, very high octane, of course, non-stop drop play, non-stop counterattacks. I will say that the Widowmine buff is very noticeable, as you could see, just because there's less time to react, less time to respond, and it is much more unforgiving when it comes to mine shots on the Ling Bane, on the Ultras, and on the Muta play as well. As we mentioned, I mean, it's too early to make any strong statements about this, but I can see a world where Ling Bane Muta is going to be less effective or less viable, or just requires more attention to detail. Requires more attention, requires more skill, and it may even just force some more Ling Bane Hydra play instead, or even back to Roach Ravager Ultra or Ling Bane Ultra, which is still very much so meta, by the way, like that style, just to be a little bit more prevalent. But we'll see as we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. We're loading into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Rainfall. We have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg player himself. We have the South Korean Zerg down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. As we are settling into game number 2 here, and welcome to Rainfall. Rainfall is a very small map of the map pool. Short rush distance by ground aggression is much more favored on this map. That's typically where we favor Terran, right? Terran players, they typically do thrive better. They thrive stronger here on these smaller maps to be more aggressive, to be more in your face. We'll see if Solar can keep up. Again, in my mind, Roach play would be much more viable here to defend, to survive, and to build up into the mid game. But we'll see if Solar is going to link main instead. Eyes on Solar. Let's go. Hello, as we are going to be opening up pool first. Interesting. So early pool here by Solar. With this, he can try to skirt his links across the map and try to avoid as said initial scouting Reaper and SCV. But does go pool first. And this might also be just because of the short rush distance by ground. Solar wants to make sure he has an army or queens to defend against the Reaper, just to be safe. Noel. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. In the YouTube chat. So again, for now, we are going to be settling in. Solar going for a very delayed gas, actually. So a much later gas guys are out of Solar. There's a higher chance that we go into Roach play as a result of that. Typically, if you delay your gases this heavily, you just skip link speed. But we'll see if that will be the case here for Solar. We'll see. A este boreal. Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos. Again, from here, we're going to be opening up. This time, ByuN, he does go for his initial Reaper scouts. He is moving out across the map to see what is going on. Bearing in mind, there was no SCV scout this game out of ByuN, so just relying on said Reaper. As a result, it's going to be a later realization of the earlier pool timing, but I believe there were no links made. The 2. Yeah, only 2. So just defensively. Just defensive play here from Solar. Reaper does poke in, and Solar will be able to deflect. You can see that ByuN, he saw the timing of the hatchery being delayed, racing back home to defend against any Zerglings, and the game will continue. The game will continue. Bearing in mind as well that the upper semifinals is currently also set up and getting underway. Clem took down Geralt 2-0, Cure took down Camo, and Clem versus Cure, I believe, is happening at the same time. So I believe both for PiGosaur Cup specifically, both semifinals occur at the same time. For other tournaments like the Sparkling Tuna Cup or the War DCV Monday, they happen one after the other concurrently. Sorry, they happen one after the other. Meanwhile, in some like PiGosaur Cup, they had to happen concurrently instead. To make up for that, though, best of 5, right? That's to make up for it. As ByuN once again going for his own 1-1-1. Now, we saw last game, if you recall, how did game number 1 begin? Well, ByuN killed 14 drones. If you missed it, 14 drones went down at the start of the game, which is why ByuN found himself in a very comfortable position in the mid-game and why he was dictating the pace of the game itself. Here, we'll see if ByuN can replicate that success, as we are going for Reactored Marine. Oh, this is different. Okay, so no add-on, so we have continue reactored marine production instead. We're going for a Hellbat push. So again, extra marines than normal. We're going to have the medevac to support, armories on the way, Hellbat push is coming, much more committed, much more aggressive, and we spoke about this at the start of the game, how specifically on Rainfall, these aggressive builds hit harder. And we were theorizing that maybe Solar opens up roaches to defend, but there is no roach play. No roach play at a Solar. He is going Ling Queen. There's a higher chance that ByuN can make this work. ByuN does look to boost across the map at the same time. ByuN gets thrown down. Solar, I believe he saw said medevac. He's still droning. Solar setting up a backstab. And we're still holding on. Solar still droning. His Ling's getting caught out. Up. Fails the scout. Oh, it's so close. And this has been delayed, right? This has been delayed, and now ByuN will pull the trigger. He's got 7. So 7 Hellions. I believe there's going to be 2 Banshees. 1. Okay, there's going to be 1 Banshee available as well with Cloak. Medevac's moving in with our 8 Marines. No stim, of course. But here come the Hellbats. Now, defensively here, ByuN is now done, so we can reactively morph in Banelings, but until they do morph in, ByuN, he can catch the Queens. Let's go. Does move in. We have 5 Banelings on the way. ByuN, he will smash against the Queens. And we'll see how many he can bring down. We do have plenty of transfuse. Yeah, plenty of transfuse here. Again, this hit later than normal because Solo was being so active with the Zerglings. He was delaying the push. And in the end, this push has failed. Yeah, the push has failed. The Banelings are done. And ByuN is now in a rough position. His 3rd CC is delayed. The armory was a waste of resources in the end. He has less Cloak Banshees. They're also hitting later because of the earlier medevac. And this is a shaky early game here for ByuN. Take. Oh, does find a mineral line though. Okay. Jeez. Gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drones. Ay. Half a mineral line goes down. The Banshees. They're making up for the earlier failed Hellbat push. The earlier fumble. Meanwhile, Solar is going Lingbane Hydra. If you recall, I did mention that due to the change to the Widowmine, especially we saw it in that last game, Lingbane Hydra might just be a little more popular coming into this, but I mean, we're at least seeing it this game. Again, it's still too early to make any like strong conclusions to anything. Ooh, Bailey's a crash in. Late reaction. Very late reaction here by ByuN. Ay, not paying attention. Gets caught with his pants down. The pants were down. Hellbats get caught. Solar holds. Solar, he holds, he defends. Back across the map, ByuN still building up into his own bio. Making use of the army, getting the +1 of vehicle weapons, because why not? I mean, he's got the armory anyway, I mean. Why not? I believe 1 eBay. Yeah, just 1 eBay. Just the 1. ByuN moves in. Will be delayed here by the Spore. Oh, wait, no, sorry, he's got 2 eBays. How did I miss the +1 armor? My apologies. My blind. Oh, there it is. Didn't notice it in the production tab. As ByuN is looking for more damage. Bearing in mind the Banshees, they killed 7 drones, and that's a nice start, but ideally we do need a little bit more damage here. As Solar's running up to 80. Getting up to full 4-base saturation, massing up his own Ling main Hydra. And again, you can already see the difference here from game to game, just because of the failed early game here from ByuN. But last game, ByuN, who was already applying pressure to the 4th base, now this is the 5th expansion that's getting up and running. So Solar again is looking very comfortable here. And ByuN is being outscaled. Banelings, they roll in. We go on top of the tanks. Catching out 1. Yeah, 1 tank goes down. Drop behind the mineral line. Does trade somewhat. No real damage. Catching out 2 drones. And ByuN, yeah, he has to pull back. He has to pull back with the tanks. He cannot save it. ByuN has lost map control. He's trying to be active, but honestly, there's nothing really holding Solar back. Sport's out of position. Okay. Sport's out of position. 6 more drones going down. Nice damage here with the Banshees. This will slow Solar down. But it's so difficult to turtle up here on Rainfall. This is not the map to do this on. But he has to. Ay. Again, this 3rd base is so open. The 4th base as well. It's going to be a struggle here for ByuN. Despite that, though, the Banshees, every time. There's 9 more mining, no Spore in the main. That's on Solar. Where are the Spores, Bappy? Jesus. ByuN, we're playing with fire right now. Calm down, ByuN, calm down. ByuN sims in, Soul's out of position, the center hatchery goes down. ByuN makes the moves happen here. At the same time, Solar does move in, shows the Banelings. Yeah, Banelings do connect. Smashing through the natural, tank goes down as well, and SCVs will fall. Yeah, the entire mineral line's going to go down. ByuN does kill a base, but Solar kills the mineral line. Yeah, it does get the mineral line. Can even shut down the E-base. ByuN turns around. He does race back home. Things are being cleaned up. As we have the Lunkers. The Hive-Tech Lunkers, baby, they're coming. Yeah, tanks are on their own, so 3-4 tanks for free, Pappy. Oh, good. Cleans up all the tanks. ByuN pushing on the top side. We're getting messy. Getting very messy here. But again, Solar has 80 workers. Solar, he can sustain these losses. ByuN less so. Solar's transferring over. Workers now morphing in. Things are spotted. ByuN trying to keep up. Trying to keep up, trying to defend. Solar now maxed out. And ByuN, again, he's still stuck trying to build up his tank count. He lost so many tanks earlier. It's only down to 3. Down to 2. Down to 2 tanks. Vipers have arrived. Lurkers, they do burrow. They shut down the mineral line. Oh my god, Marines, they get punished. They get punished by the Lunkers, Pappy. Ay. And that's another 20 SCV kills. Again, it's been an uphill battle this entire game for ByuN. Ever since the initial Hellbat push was fumbled. The blunder. The Banshees, I mean, they did allow ByuN to stay in this game for sure. The Banshees, they did a lot of damage on their own. But that was kind of it. As we mentioned, Solar was able to join up to 80 very quickly, very comfortably. Banelings, they connected the bio. Planetary goes down, and we do have a series. We have that back and forth as ByuN cannot contest against this. He's trying to be active with drops. ByuN contained on 2 bases, really on a 1-base economy. The main is mined out. 1 base, Pappy. Only so much I can do for you. Only so much. GG. GG gets called. CCs go down, and Solar ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar, he will tie things up here. Again, a very intense back and forth in the series so far. When it comes to the game itself, if you recall, ByuN was very committed early on. He went into reactive marine production, into Hellions, into a Hellbat push, which was heavily delayed because it was so late, because of all the scouting and the Ling activity. It meant that Solar had more time to react, more time to respond, finishing up the Bailey nest, finishing up his Banelings, and shutting it down. From then on forward, it was a rough follow-up here. ByuN, his third base was delayed, his tech was delayed, he was trying to recover. Bearing in mind that specifically on Rainfall, trying to build up into a longer game is much more difficult as the defending player, just because of the shore rushes by ground, and also because of how open the bases are as well. So getting into the mid game, into the mid to late game, it is so difficult to defend your third, fourth, and fifth base. And we saw that ByuN could not maintain those bases. He was shut down time and time again, losing workers, losing mineral lines. There's multiple avenues of attack into those expansions, and with that, Solar snowballs into a win. GG. GG, well played. Now we're going to be loading into game 2. Going to be loading into At Attorney's Edge. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of At Attorney's Edge, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself, we have the South Korean Zerg. Tying up the series 1-1, it is Solar. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. So chat, this is on the hotfix. It's on the latest version of the patch. Yes, of course, of course. This is the first tournament on the latest version of the patch on the hotfix. Technically, the first tournament from the beginning. If you recall, the RSL qualifiers were mid-series, mid-qualifying match when the hotfix went live. So technically, like half a series of RSL European qualifier was on the hotfix. I guess it's like. But this is the first full tournament on the new patch, and we've already been seeing it come into play quite heavily in this series. If you missed it, I do recommend the VOD. Do recommend it. So far, once again, pull first. Pull first out of Solar, just like last game. Pull first into a hatchery, into a later gas geyser, going for a very safe opener. I'm assuming he's only going to make 2 lings, but we'll see. Back at home is CC first out of ByuN. ByuN being greedy, cutting corners. CC first, most likely into no SCV Scout, and most likely into no Reaper either. That's what we're expecting. Here's what we're expecting here. So just calming down. So we're going to be calming down here on At Attorney's Edge. When it comes to the map itself, we can see a couple of different directions here. If ByuN wants to be more aggressive, we can expand towards the Zerg, taking the triangular third base to push across the map. Likewise, it's going to be on Soul to slow the game down, to try to build it up. It's a bit of a larger map, so muta play is going to be more viable here. But again, because of the Water Mine change, because of what happened in game 1 as well, it's a very high chance that Solar just doesn't go mutas again in this series. It might just be deterred from that. We'll see. We've yet to experience any kind of roach heavy play. I don't like the idea of roaches here on At Attorney's Edge. It's a little bit too large for that. So we're leaning more towards Lingbane Hydra again. Or maybe even Lingbane Ultra. But I don't think Solar is really one that does cut those corners and tries to go Lingbane Ultra. It's a very risky style to try to get away with. It is safer just to go Hydra. Safer. ByuN's Reaper should train in 30 seconds. Oh, as we mentioned, there's no Reaper opener here. We try to emphasize that this will CC first, which means no Reaper. As ByuN saying, you can't see what I'm up to. Get out of here. Hold on, I'll whip out my Google Translate. Basically what happened here is that ByuN's like, what do you think, I'm a noob? When the Lynx poked up the ramp, and then Solo was laughing at his response. No. I was like, your response is good. ByuN's like, oh, that's a reactor, right? Like, he's just teasing him as to what he scouted. The banter, Pappy, the banter. As behind this, we're going for a 1-1-1. 1-1-1 here out of ByuN. Once again, it's going to be a much more aggressive build here. Yeah, that's what you... we translate, Bill Mioja, he confirms the translation. Confirms the translation. But shout out to Bill Mioja for providing it, by the way. Big shout out to Bill Mioja. We appreciate the translations. Patch comment? No. They were talking about the Link Scout, if you recall. It's about the Link Scout. Oh, I mean, you're speaking in general. I see. Yeah. From here, though, we're going to be opening up. It is going to be our initial, as we mentioned, 1-1-1 into reactor Hellion Banshee. With this, the pressure is going to be on ByuN to get damage done, as he's going to be intentionally delaying his CC. Third base is on the way after this, but after said starport. So we'll see what we can get done as we are building up to 6 Hellions so far. Banshee as well. ByuN ideally distracting the queens. Ooh, Banshee gets spotted. Yeah, he gets spotted by the tumor. Solo's aware. Spore's repositioning. Cloak is activated, and there's no Spore here at the natural. Yeah, a couple seconds too late. We'll get one drone. One drone goes down. And may find another. Barely not. Yeah, just one drone kill. Getting 2. 2 drones. Solo's keeping up, and Solo he defends. Okay, so far nice defense here, especially considering what happened last game. Remember, last game it was 14 kills. last game we had 14 drone kills. Here it's going to be up to 4 drones going down. So I say last game, game 1. No, but even on Rainfall, the Banshees, yeah, they popped off. This time, minimal losses. Much more acceptable. Solo deflects. ByuN claiming his 3rd. And Solo's able to embrace his own 1-1 upgrades. Getting into Link Main. So far, so good. As we mentioned before, there's a higher chance we do see Hydra Tech here out of Solar. We'll see if he does dip his toes into Mutas again after game 1. Hydra on Solar. Meanwhile, big shout out to Defiance. God, oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 6 months, for half a year of support. Baby God. Thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it. Thank you. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting of the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. Exciting times for SC2. For sure. Exciting times. Oh. As again, the Banshees are going to be deflected. It is going to be Link Bane Hydra Tech here by Solar. So once again, playing a much more robust style. Oh, no, cancels. Wait, what? Oh, sorry, that was the second one. That was the second den. So Link Bane Hydra Den does finish. And so far, it's on Solar to keep up with the aggression, keep up with the rotations. And based on the gas being taken in on the second factory, ByuN is building up into a 4th CC. So we're getting in towards the mid to late game. No early timings. No early aggression outside of the Banshees. We're just building up. Now, I will say that this map is an easier map to turtle up on 4 bases on compared to Rainfall, of course. Compared to Rainfall. As ByuN can expand towards his opponent. With the army as well. ByuN is pushing here on the top side. How about saying moving to support the army? +1 vehicle weapons on the way. Let's go. And ByuN is setting up. Ooh, we collapse in. Yeah, tank is going to go down. Bailey's going to crash in. One of the tanks is late to siege. Yeah, late to siege up. And Solar, he will catch out the army. Losing both tanks. And with that, ByuN is deflected. ByuN, he has no strength left. He has no backbone left to the army. Cannot keep pushing. And Solar holds. Whew, Solar, he does hold on. At the same time, Banshees, they poke in. They do distract. What I will say is at least the creep has been kept at bay. The creep is still very much so lacking for Solar, but ByuN is forced to expand. There's that 4CC. Could have been thrown out a little bit earlier, but now is on the way. As ByuN does rotate, catching out the Overlord, denying creep. Does deny some tumors. Again, trying to maintain some kind of presence on the map here as Solar. He's already shown up to 80, right? He's shown up to 80. He's reaching his own peak economy. ByuN trying to be active here. Bearing in mind purely with Marines, his tank count was reset, so he has to slowly build his tank count back up. And it's on ByuN to delay and to threaten ideally the 5th base. Threaten the bases, threaten the expansions, deny the creep, while he builds up his tanks again. And so far doing well. Distracts on the left hand side. Does cause a distraction. 5th base is spotted. Oh, very nice target firing. Yes, the ByuN. But late to pick up. And a little bit late to pick up. Banshee gets caught. And ByuN, he will expand here away from the Zerg. Okay. A much more defensive expansion. Playing a little bit safer. Gross production is now underway. It says at Academy. And we'll see if ByuN can hold on. He does have his 5 tanks. Yeah, 5 tanks are ready. 1, 2, 3 tanks are exposed. Does catch 2. 2 tanks go down. But ByuN holds. So far, acceptable losses here for ByuN. Does defend. Zones away the Lings, and ByuN can land his 4th. Get a very entrenched position here at the 3rd. And he has the high ground advantage as well, and the choke point. Thankfully, Solar does recognize that, so he's taking a bit of Hive and into Vipers. So Vipers are amassing Hive Tech upgrades on the Lurkers. From here, we can go into Nidus Worms. Into attempted Nidus play. And the game will be slowing down quite heavily here. Will slow down. Oh, as we do focus on the expansion, Solar out of position. Very nice. Hatchery goes down. Solid pick off here by ByuN, dropping into the main. And Solar, he'll lose his 5th. And 5th base goes down. Spores as well. Setting up for more drop play. Ooh, we'll lose one of the medevacs. And 1 medevac does fall. Still a decent trade here by ByuN. But forced to pull away. Forced to pull back. We can see ByuN fully turtling up, throwing down more sensor towers. In the main base as well. Getting ready for drop play. Making sure no Nidus Storm gets into the main. More towers on the left hand side as well. Just fully oh god. Fully turtling up. And maxing out. Now, I will say that Solar hasn't really been too greedy this game. Because of how active the drops were, you can definitely argue that he couldn't really be too greedy. But at this point, seeing all these sensor towers, Solar needs to mass expand. The gold base, specifically. We need the gold expansion. We need the center high-yield gas bases as well. It might even be worth sneaking out this northern base here to take that away from ByuN. One of the issues here when it comes to this map is that there is very much so a big delineation from one side of the map to the other. So the idea of Solar taking, say, this center left base or these northern bases is quite low. So on the one hand, yes, ByuN is turtling up, but there's a very high chance that Solar will never take these bases, and ByuN can always take them a little bit later on. So these bases are almost kind of like, they're almost counting like a bank here for ByuN, as they can be taken at any time. Which is why I would feel like there's a lot of pressure on Solar to attempt to take these expansions. It won't be easy, but whatever he can take away from ByuN will benefit him in the long run. Likewise, it's going to be on ByuN to try to deny the gold. the layout of this map is actually reminding me a little bit of Persephone. Persephone was very similar, where like one half of the map and the other was very distinctly like split in half. Solo does commit in. Nice fighting clouds. Covers some of the tanks. Gets into the middle line as well. Takes down 2. Takes down 3. Yeah, 3 tanks go down. Marines as well. And ByuN out of position. Again, his main army was on the southern side. And still is, by the way. This is too much. 33 XCVs. Ay, ay, ay. ByuN, he took this position for granted. Yeah, took it for granted. Didn't notice the rotations. Just now he turns back around. And will defend, but the damage has been done. And this is too much. Solo's already remaxed. He's already remaxed. He's up, what, 80 supply? 70 even? Can now rotate over towards the southern bases. And this expansion is so open. it's so open, so accessible. Solo getting ready to pounce. ByuN's fixated here on the top side. This planetary should fall. There's no defending this. Planetary goes down. Solo can just keep trading. He can just trade, Bappy. Yeah, he can just snowball out of control, takes on the middle orders, they go see everything. And ByuN has a lot of recovering to do, to the point where he shouldn't be able to. Like, at this level of play, like, again, Solar, he is far, far ahead. And he is taking some of his bases as well, which he doesn't even need to at this point, but sure. Taking some of his expansions. And just like us as well, like ByuN, he just had a little bit too much confidence in the defensive setup here at the third, where he didn't take the attack or the engage too seriously enough. Oh. Catching out a couple of tanks. He rotates over. Yeah, he does rotate. Banes they roll in, catching up more tanks, and again the Bio army just is not large enough to contend against this. There's just too much Link Bane Muta. Oh, sorry, too much Link Bane Hydra, as we have a Spire on the way for attempted Brood Lords if need be. We don't need that, but sure. Lurkers, they're getting involved in their own way. We didn't need them. And here's just a slow death for ByuN. Technically, there's a world where if Solo overextends and takes a bad fight, then maybe ByuN can recover, but not like this. As 1, 2, 3 tanks go down. Bane's trying to push into the mineral line. They do get in. Oh, they do get in. 18 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. Insane damage here at the third. And Solo just can keep rallying. Just keep rallying. Keep pushing. And GG gets called, and Solar, he will take a 2-1 lead in the series. Whew, GG. GG, well played. We'll take a lead in the series here. Winding it back here again, ByuN lost a lot of momentum early on when it came to his first tank push, if you recall. I say first tank push, so early on he committed into Hellion Banshee. This time he did not get enough damage done. Last game he called 14 drones, this time 4. 4 drones went down to the Banshee play, so less success when it comes to the early game aggression. He then went into his 7-minute push with his 2 tanks, and he lost his tanks immediately. Solely, he was so quick to dive on that army, and the moment those 2 tanks were killed, ByuN had to relinquish map control and start to turtle up. Back at home, getting his 4th CC, building up his tank count. ByuN was being active with his drops at least, but he had no real threat to the main bases of Solar. He couldn't really threaten the bases, the economy, just poking and prodding at the fringe edges of the map, as he had lost any kind of pushing power that he otherwise would have, and GG. In the end, ByuN, he just relinquished map control, tried to turtle up, and I do think there was a chance there for ByuN to successfully turtle and to and to fortify those 4 bases and get a 5th base. But again, maybe maybe he had a little bit too much confidence in the SimCity and the tank line at the 3rd, because Solar was able to break through. And again, ByuN had a very delayed, very limited reaction to it. It seemed like he was like, oh, I'll be fine. Like, there are plenty of tanks, plenty of reinforcements, whatever. Let's just keep pushing. And ByuN got punished. ByuN was punished for it. Did kind of misjudge the situation. GG. GG well played. With that, Solar does take a 2-1 lead, and we'll see if Solar can close it out. We'll see if ByuN can bounce back and force the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Sun Temple, we have the red Zerg player. Yeah, the red Zerg himself leading the series 2-1. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. So we are settling in. CC first goes unpunished. I mean, CC first often goes unpunished. See Saito in the chat. Is often the case. If you're unfamiliar, as from here we are loading into the Old Sun Temple. We're going to 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in top left, bottom right, and top right as well. So 4 possible spawn locations. Solar, he does gamble a little bit here, and the first overlord will find ByuN. Once again, CC first at a ByuN, which is very common on 4-player spawn maps. Very, very common. It's very uncommon to go for like a safer build or a standard build. So CC first. Solar will be able to spot this ahead of time, and we'll see how Solar does react behind this hatch first as well. We've been seeing a lot of pool first so far this series, but this time hatch first, hatch into our pool, into our gas. We're settling in. Now, because of the close by ground and close by air spawns that we do have available here, this does mean that our players can be more active and aggressive in the mid game. Can be more aggressive. So does begin. Does begin. Does confirm the CC first. Does confirm the spawn location. Solar is aware. And you can see him repositioning his overlords, rotating over. When it comes to worker scouting, that is going to be benefited a little bit by the speed zones. That's the purpose of them. We have our speed zones here in the center to allow for faster scouting. But again, there's no worker scout out of ByuN. Just building up. So once again, just confirming that it is going to be the factory follow-up. Even supposed to reactor as well. This version of the patch seems more reasonable. Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, it's still very early to make any strong conclusions about it. The patch is only a couple of hours old. I'm still on the fence when it comes to the Widowmine change, just because I'm curious to see how it impacts the meta. Yeah, curious. I think I'm in the boats. I mean, I say I think I'm in the boats, and I have been for a long time about the armory once again unlocking cloak for the Widowmine for TVP. If you remember, like I was expecting that to happen a year ago on the storm patch. I remember being shocked. I was like, why? Well, like what? why have we not changed this just to help when it comes to mid game TVP? Here, this patch they did adjust the Widowmine, but in a very different way, and curious to see how it does impact Widowmine drop play in TVP. We have already seen it impact TVZ in the mid game quite heavily. I think my concern is that it does make Lingbane Muta less viable unless you're like Rain or Serral, where if you do have like the micro and control and the intentiveness to micro against said Widowmines and then to make that viable. That is a bit of a concern that I have. But once again, I can't make any strong statement after only seeing one game, right? We'll see. Nice catch in the overload. I think mid-game of TVP has in some way fixed by the warp gate tax. Kind of. Not really. If you've been watching TVP as of late, you've been seeing Protoss players just not produce warp gates and just use gateways with warp gate with increased production, and they still gain map control in the same way. It's actually been really cool to see. It's been really cool to see Protoss adapt, avoid warp gates, get into heavy gateway production with just speed warping, like with just faster production on them. And still be able to gain map control in the same way and shut that down, or shut down Terran in the mid game. But that's been exclusively, at least from what I've seen, on these larger maps. So think of Old Sun Temple, think of Fear and Faith, think of those two maps come to mind when it comes to that occurring. But once again, it's only been a week, right? It's only been a week of the patch. So we'll see how that meta settles. From here, Hellions they poke in, they do catch a couple workers, likewise Banshee, sorry, Liberator in towards the third base, this time going Liberator, not Banshee, true. Does go Liberator, catching out 3 drones, and catching out the Queen as well. Yeah, some messy defense here from Solar, deny more mining, rallying into the Hellions as well. Hellions are somewhat trapped, but they will trade before they get surrounded. Yeah, they will get surrounded, and then they do get cleaned up. That's still going to be 6 drone, oh my god, that's still going to be 6 drone kills. Boys, where are we going, baby, where are we going? Getting the freedom, there's just too much freedom. Get out of here. Oh no. As again, a very chaotic, very messy defense here from Solar. Still cannot go back in. Oh my god. Liberator finally goes down, but has paid for itself, 100%. Causing so much chaos, so much havoc. At the same time, here comes the drop play by ByuN. ByuN is not done. Building up into ByuN. He's moving out. ByuN is dropping. He's moving out to drop. Likewise, ByuN rotating his towards left-hand side as well. And Solar should be able to keep up, but it's all about setting up for the push. We're just setting up here. Denying creep. Actually pushing all the way into the natural. Solar's out of position. The mines. Yeah, what mines will burrow. Setting up on the high ground. Leading Bane trying to roll in. Baneling speed is nowhere near being done. It should not connect. Yeah, they should not connect here. ByuN pulls away. Nice spread. And Soul's in trouble. Soul is in a lot of trouble here. Is heavily oversim. Nice target firing, but no. Yeah, Banelings, they still connect, and Solar barely holds on. Whew. Soul does hold, does connect. There was a lot of potential here. There was a lot of potential for more damage, but ByuN, alas, he had a bit of a harder time engaging with the Banelings, focusing them down. It was very messy. It was very, very messy there. In the end, Solar does hold. It got scary though, not gonna lie. Things got a little bit concerning. As ByuN rotates. Once again, dropping towards the 4th. We mentioned earlier that damage done from the Liberator, I mean, it has impacted the growth here of Solar for sure. Still is yet to drone up. Just now getting up to 80. Oh. ByuN trading well. Still rallying. We mentioned earlier, because of the spawn locations, we do have a shorter rush distance by ground. And ByuN is trying to keep that pressure up. Solo once again going to Lingbane Hydra. Fourth base on the way. Again, because of all this pressure being applied, ByuN, his fourth base is left untouched. It's going to be on location. Solo cannot deny. Cannot deny the expansion. ByuN shuffling his units around. Interesting that ByuN is still committed into Widow Mines against the Lingbane Hydra setup here of Solar. Traditionally, Widow Mines are less effective against Hydra-based compositions, especially working into Lurkers, so we'll see how this change of pace works out here. Obviously, it's a higher pace and higher momentum game here from ByuN. There's a lot of potential with these mines, but if fights go awry, then very quickly everything will snowball out of control. Oh, does get a queen. 1, 2, 3, does get 4 queens. Oh my god, just barely the 4th. Picks up in time. Pushing on the left. Oh. Once again, ByuN is pushing. Catching up more queens. That's going to be 6 queens in total going down. Ay, ay, ay. Heavy queen losses. Down to 3. Yeah, down to 3 queens. Solo, he does clean up the main army. Does defend here the main push. But can Solo threaten the bases? As we try to emphasize, there are no defensive tank lines here for ByuN. So the moment that ByuN's aggression subsides, these bases will go down. Like, these bases are very exposed. So very much so this is on a knife's edge. Solo keeping up with the drop. Lose 4 workers. Solo, he rotates. He's coming. And it's now time for Solo to be the aggressor. Solo has defended. ByuN has to get the hell out of here. We get some okay mine shots. And some nice connections. Widow Mines, they connect. ByuN, does he have enough at home to defend? He's still racing back. And the spread is good. Yeah, the spread is good. Shuts down the Lings. It just wasn't enough Lingbane. Not on the southern side. And ByuN should hold on. He should hold on here. There are some bathing ceilings to the middle line, though. Oh, no! Yeah, maybe action. 8 SCV kills. 8 workers going down. Oh, no! Oh, my god. Bathing they connect. 15 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. Again, late reactions out of ByuN. Doesn't pull away in time. 16 SCV kills. We'll lose the mineral line. And ByuN is being slowed down. He's being slowed down. Now it's his turn to counterattack. Bane's on already. Oh, it's only Ling. Yeah, it's pure Ling defense. This counterattack hits so quickly, and ByuN, he can just stand and fight. He can just A-move. He can just A-move in. No splits required. The base goes down, and Solo's in trouble. He needs the Banes. He needs the Banelings. They get focused down. They just are not enough. Lurkers 8 bar. There's 4 lurkers in total. Down to 3. Down to 2. And soon to be down to 1. There just is not enough here, and ByuN, he will punish. He snowballs out of control, pushes through the ramp, pushes through the main army. The Lunkers, they do nothing. GG gets called, and ByuN ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. As ByuN does tie things up again, you could see just how short the rush distance is because of the close spawns. As soon as the fight went awry for Solar, as soon as ByuN defended, bam, instant counterattack. Instant counterattack. ByuN, he was in the bases, he was in that left-hand expansion, the linear 3rd base, and then pushing directly into the natural as well. Very short rush distance, very little time to react, and Solar didn't have the time to morph in Banelings. He could not morph them in time. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into the ace match. We're getting into game 5, and we'll see how this story ends here. We'll see what map we load into. I'm not aware of the vetoes. Don't know what we're going to be loading into here. Let's go. Let us go. Meanwhile, my assumption was that the upper semis was playing, but I actually don't know if that's happening. I don't... Just because I think all the casters are together. So not too certain. But let's go. Let us go. Oh, Jesus. What the... As we are loading into Rorschach. Once again, a small map of the map pool. Aggression here is favored. Short rush distance by grounds. We'll see how Solo will approach this here. We have yet to experience any roach heavy play at a Solo this series. Even on Rainfall, if you recall, I would hope to see it here, but again, it's up to Solar. We'll see. We'll see. Meanwhile, big shout out to Rocktopus in the chat. Thank you so much for subscribing for 5 months for almost half a year support with Twitch Prime. Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate the support. Thank you. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting of the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. As we are settling into game number 5. We found ourselves in the ace match, and spawning in the bottom hand corner of Rorschach, we have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran player himself, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. As we find ourselves in the ace match, and welcome one and all to Rorschach. Rorschach again is a small map of the map pool, short rush distance by grounds, especially if you expand towards each other. There is a healing pad in the dead set center of the map, and that will benefit especially Terran aggression early on. We'll see if it's going to be made use of course, especially in the first week of play. Players did not know that it was there, so again, now they've had a little bit more time to have some more experience on the map itself. And we'll see how Solo opens up. In my mind, I feel like we have to play Roach, but again, Solo has been avoiding Roach play the entire series. Curious to see if he will finally accept that fate here, or if we go into Link Main again. We'll see. Here we go. Yes, from here our players are going to be opening up. Again, it's going to be a pull first, pull into hatchery, into a later gas geyser. This will allow for the queens and the lings to pop out a little bit earlier to defend against the first Reaper. Just a safer start out of Solar. You can try to skirt around the edge and delay the CC. There are some options. Yeah, so for now we are going to be calming down, going to be setting into our openers. Behind this we do see a Rax Expand opener here by ByuN. This time no crazy CC first, of course. When it comes to the map itself, we do have a couple of unique features outside of just the healing pad. We do have the gold base here in the top center of the map, and likewise some hybrid bases as well. These hybrid bases barely come into play. Like, they are very difficult to defend and very difficult to maintain. As you can see, like, they're very isolated from each other, so we've seen many players attempt and fail to take those hybrid expansions. But it's a nice feature, I suppose. It's I feel like the only way you can really take them though is if you're like far ahead in the game and you have map control. Otherwise, very difficult to maintain. So we typically expand towards the top side instead. We typically expand away from the Terran. Solo's claiming his third. Meanwhile, ByuN has been embracing his own 1-1-1s quite heavily throughout this series. We're expecting it here as well. There's the add-on swap into reactor to Hellion production. And there is said starports. Interesting location, by the way. Based on the starport location, there's no add-on swap. Okay, so no add-on swap. We have reactor to Hellion. We have a couple of Marines here. I'm curious if we go for a Liberator to reinforce this push, or if we go into a medevac to likewise reinforce this as well. This is a little bit more peculiar here from ByuN. Do we set up for another Hellbat push? It is going to be a Liberator. Eyes are on an attempted Armory. I mean, hey, the MVP Liberator, right, was doing a lot last game. Can we do it again? Hellions, they move that across the map. Overlord's going to be zoned away. We are going to be rushing to steer much faster than normal, as we are not going for any kind of add-on swap into Cloak Banshee. And we'll see how ByuN sets up.
Not enough energy.
Likewise, Solar just now does poke out. Actually in position to scout the... Oh, never mind. I was going to say to scout the Liberator, but does miss it. Liberator does scrut around the edge. And it's only going to be 7, okay. 7 Hellions from here going for the 3rd CC. There's no army behind this. We'll be able to poke and prod, but not too committed here from ByuN. Liberator is activated. Hellions, they poke in. Distracting the queens. Ideally creating an opening. We just go for the dive? Oh god, he's crazy. Yeah, he gets punished for it as well. Lings, they move this around, and ByuN, he will lose everything. ByuN. Yeah, massive misstep there. It does fumble the ball, does blunder. Losing every single Hellion for a handful of Lings. Not worth it. And the Liberator likewise goes down as well. Brutal start here for ByuN. He got too greedy, Bap. He got too greedy. Went for the dive, got punished, and with that, Solar can now drone. Now he can just drone up, get up to 3 base saturation, get a 4th base as well, and Solar is looking very comfortable. Very comfortable. There's our 4th base being taken. Solar, he does scout the 3rd CC timing. Is aware. 4 CCs on the way. That's a very fast 4th, actually. We haven't even landed the 3rd base, so ByuN, I mean, he's desperate here. So incredibly fast 4th. Solar, he will scout the 4th CC. Sure, he's like, what the hell? And Solar's response, muta play. Fair enough. Going for the Spire, going for mutas. We'll attempt to punish the greed. And it's going to be a rough road to recovery here for ByuN. It's going to be very rough. Solar even rushing into the gold. Oh my god. The greed, Pappy. Solar's able to keep up. Triple expanding. No. Now, there is a world where maybe Solar's too greedy and ByuN can punish, but the reality is that because of ByuN's 4 CC, like, there's just nothing to be worried about. There are no concerns, Pappy. Oh. Yeah, Banners to get focused down. So some nice target firing there by ByuN. Mutas are on the way. Again, ByuN has no idea. Behind this are no turrets in position as ByuN has no scouting. And we'll see what Solar can get done. As ByuN does scout the gold, is aware. And we're going to try to turtle up here. Again, the bases are open, the ramps are wide. It is looking quite dire. Here's a move in. And they pick up some SCVs, and GG. GG gets called. Again, there's nothing to defend, and Solar, he will claim the series 3-2, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar, he will claim the series again. A very rough start there for ByuN in game number 5. Winding it back, if you remember, ByuN, he went for a 1-1-1 build into Reactored Hellion Liberator, into 7 Hellions to push out across the map, and ByuN lost everything without getting a single drone. ByuN, he saw an opening that wasn't quite there. He committed. He was too greedy. As soon as he got surrounded, that was game. From there, Solar, he was able to freely join up and expand. ByuN, because he was desperate, he went for a fast force CC, but he got scouted. He got scouted instantly, and because of that scout, Solar triple expanded. Triple expanded, got the gold base, and got the Spire as well, so Solar was able to outgreed ByuN, and then just snowball from there. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, Solar, he will claim the series, and with that, do we have our grand finals ready for us? Let's have a look. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. What has been going on? Looks like we have our finals. Okay, so we have our grand finals here. It is going to be a TVZ as Cure. Oh no. I'm an animal. I switched servers. I thought it was Clem. Cure takes down Clem 3-0. So Clem did of course play Protoss there, and Cure, he was able to have a dominant performance over Clem in that 3-0 scoreline. Again, we saw Cure versus Zown yesterday as well, 2 days ago during the RSL qualifiers, and Cure's TVP is looking insane. So with that, Cure, he shuts down Zown, he shuts down Clem 3-0 here as well, and we have a TVZ finals between Cure and Solar. Let's go. Let us go. So we are getting ready for our grand finals. From here, we're going to be going on a short break. Here. When we come back, we'll have our grand finals. It'll be a best of 5 between Cure and Solar. We'll see you soon. See you soon after the break. See you soon. fans, welcome back everyone, welcome back to the grand finals here of the PiGosaur Cup at PiGosaur Cup number 88. We have made it here to our best of 5 TVZ finals, and spawning in the top right hand corner of washouts we have the red Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom hand corner we have the blue Terran player, himself representing Team Liquid. It is a Cure. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we do settle into our TVZ. And I'm very curious to see how Cure will approach this. Now, for those who are curious, Cure, he straight up is, what, top 3 Terran in the world? Alongside, I would say that Cure is just behind Maru and just behind Clem, above ByuN, above Percival, above Gumiho, above Ryung for sure. Cure, he's definitely up there, but Cure, he has a little bit less flair, a little bit less fanfare behind him, just because he's a little bit less, how should I put this? He's just very clinical and very standard in how he plays. Like he's almost like Innovation-esque, but not as extreme as Innovation. He's a very solid player, but because he doesn't have, I would say, as much charisma as some of the other players, and as much flair to him, then I feel like a lot of people do overlook Cure. But straight up, like, he's, I would say, top 3 Terran in the world, has been for quite some time. And I'm curious to see what his approach is coming into the new patch, just because he often does kind of find like one way of doing things, and he often does kind of like rely and perfect that. Sometimes he maybe relies overly too much on certain things and certain builds and certain styles, and is maybe a little bit too rigid in his play at times. But I'm curious to see how he will approach this matchup, as he does open up 2 racks. Oh, 2x Marine, going for the special, no wait, not even the special build, going for the future build. Okay. So the goal here of 2x Marine is to catch out the Overlord, and to build up Marine count very quickly, very heavily. There is a big downside to this build, and that is you are vulnerable against a Roach all-in, especially because, remember, no SCV scout and no Reaper scout, so 0 scouting out of Cure, and this build naturally has a delayed factory as well, so late factory, late starport, 2 racks into the CC, and we have seen this build punished many a time by Roach base all-ins. We'll see how Solar reacts to this. As your Overlord is hunted down, Cure will gain map control, and from here he can go into fast stim, fast add-ons, fast upgrades, fast setup. Oh, going for a 3 racks follow-up as well. So again, a heavy commitment into Bio, even more so than a 2-1-1. Or we might even just go for a 4th racks and just go for a 2 base all in. And then maybe. For now, I'm assuming it's going to be a 3-1-1 setup, but we'll see. As Marines are hunting for another Overlord, they will miss said second Overlord here in the center. Solar now claiming his expansion. Pulling out of gas. Okay, he does pull out. So no early tech here out of our Zerg player. Which means Cure will get away with this. He will get away with it. And this will be hitting a very strong stim timing with excess Marines more than usual, because of the earlier racks production, and with the 3rd racks as well, of course. So hyper aggression here by Cure. And we'll see if Solar can keep up. Solar still has to piece together what's going on. Still does need to piece it all together. Now, what's concerning me here a little bit here is, oh, there we go. I was about to say, like, are we going to get a 4th racks or a factory? Like, we're getting up there, but there we go. Factory's on the way. So it is going to be that 3-1-1. I'm curious to see at this point if Cure waits for the medevacs. If he waits for the medevacs and then moves out across. Or if this is lined up to hit with stim pre-medevac instead, and then you have the medevacs just boost across the map to meet up with the army. We'll see how quickly this hits, and likewise, we'll see how prepared Solar is going to be. Now, Solar, he is going for a +1 Carapace. This is ideal against 2-1-1s. Carapace is the most important upgrade available here to Zerg in ZVT. especially against Marine heavy styles. But remember, Solar hasn't confirmed how committed and how aggressive this is. So it's going to be a tough hold with purely Link Queen. It's going to be difficult. Oh, Solar does check. He does not get up the ramp. But Solar, he will spot the army. He's aware. Yeah, he does spot the army. Setting up back at home. We have 18 Lings on the way. Medevacs are not going to be a part of the first wave. That's what I was curious about. I was curious if we were going to wait or not. The answer is no. We're not waiting. Which means every stim will count. We cannot waste them. There's too many Lings. Solar's fine. He should be fine. Solar has so many Lings available. This is forcing a big reaction, a big response. Solar now expanding. And Cure doesn't commit. Thankfully, does not commit. If he did, he would lose everything. So Cure pulls away. And we are waiting for the medevacs. But again, this move out did force a big reaction here from Solar. So it disrupted the economy, the mining, the growth of the Zerg. As now we're pushing, but this time with medevacs. Okay. I believe there are no Banelings to defend. There is a Baneling nest, but the lair is just now finishing, so a delayed lair here by Solar, later nest. Baneling speed is not going to factor in, of course. Here comes that medevacs. We've built up to this moment. This is it. It's going to be how many? It's going to be 39 Marines. 39 Marines, 1 tank, 2 medevacs. We can sim a little bit more freely here. And it's going to be a pre-Baneling speed defense. So no Baneling speed. Here setting up. Remember, the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for Solar. Solar supply blocked. Supply block. Solar, he sets up with the surround. Cure does with the Lings. Cure is aware. Unfortunately, he's not able to deny the 4th base. Solar did expand on the right-hand side instead. Liberators on the way. I believe this is just a 2 base all in. Yeah, 2 base all in here by Cure. No 3rd expansion. There's no follow-up here. Now going for the 3rd base. We're very late. Almost at 8 minutes. Cure, he needs damage with this. Double jump on the south side. Cure setting for his drop. Yeah, plenty of Zerglings to defend. Solar, he shuts us down. And once again, Cure isn't really threatening anything here. It's taking too long. It's just really unfortunate just how Solar expanded compared to what Cure wanted. So he commits, the tank will go down, cleans up all the bio, and Cure will lose everything. He'll lose everything here. It just took far too long. Dropping the main base has more potential. Going for the spawning pool. Lings that respawn. The pool survives. Only 4 drone kills. And Cure's being outscaled. Remember, this is a very late 3rd TC. This is a borderline 2 base all in. Solar saturating his 4th base. I mean, nice harass here. 7 drones. Oh my god. 7 drones going down. The freedom pappy is pretty good. 7 drones falling. Mining is denied. Cure getting some damage. Oh god. Calm down, baby. Calm down. Getting to 9 drones. 9 drone kills. More liberators. Oh no. Solar, he has no Hydra production at the moment. Hydra is done, but no Hydras yet. Liberators, they just bully the bases. Spores trying to reposition. Again, a very chaotic defense here by Solar. Very chaotic. That's 18 drone kills. That's crazy. We're still going. purely from Liberators, by the way. Just 22. Oh my god, at the same time, though, it does catch the main army, and this is still worth of a Solar, catching out 3 tanks. Ooh, but he's being pulled apart. Curie gets in, and after having a disastrous start to the game, he kills 36 drones. Oh my god. The slow burn, Pappy, it pays off. Yeah, it pays off, catching out 3 more Overlords, the Queens, picks up, pulls away. And this is getting out of hand. What should have been a much cleaner defense here from Solar. Solar was shutting down Cure completely. Then suddenly everything falls apart due to the Liberators. Like the Liberators that were the MVPs once again. Fun fact, they're still all alive. What? No, sorry, here we go. 4. They have gone down. I looked at the units tab. For some reason, I thought that was units lost tab. But they all get cleaned up here, but they were more than worth it here in the end at 40 drone kills. 40 workers going down. Curie does establish his 3rd base. Curie has a supply lead. Solar is struggling. Oh, nice kiting. Very nice target firing here by Curie. As Curie cleans up all the Lings. Fights well against the Banelings. Ooh, a little bit greedy. Curie does take some Banelings to the face. And does take him to the face. Curie trying to move out. Oh, forcing friendly fire. Nice run by here by Solar. Very nice run by 10 SCVs. 10 workers falling. Curie pushing in there. This main army is still looking terrifying. How many Banelings do we have? 9 to be 16. Oh. Some of them do connect. Once again, Curie's trying to break out. He's trying to break out. Picks up a couple of workers. So he needs more time. But Curie's reinforcing. Yeah, he's reinforcing. One of the tanks does get caught on siege. Nice catch. Does get one. One tank goes down. Nice spread here by Cure. Shuts out the Banelings. They do not connect. Yeah, none of Banelings. Some of them do trickle in. Oh my god. The Curie kites well. There's still one tank behind. This is still very close. Still close. Oh my god. And Solar holds. Whew. Solar barely holds on here. I think Curie need a little bit more time for these reinforcements. The Curie's still not done. He's trying to move in. Solar remaxing, 0 Banelings left. 6 just now morphing in. But I'm not too confident here that Cure has enough Marines to sustain this push. He's still lacking Bio, lacking Marines. Banelings soon to finish. Solar diving in. Yeah, it does give the dive, does get one tank. Nice tank shots. Yeah, nice target firing here on the Banelings. Oof. Yeah, Banelings, they go down. Cure, he's still not done. He's still pushing. He's not stopping. Viper's on the way, but again, Solar needs more time. He needs time back. Yeah, tanks are exposed. It does get one, does get 2. 2 tanks go down. Solar's holding on. Heavy losses there for Cure. Bleeding out 2 tanks. And the Viper's gathering energy. The Viper still needs a little bit more time. Nice target firing. Oh, once again, tank shots on the Banelings. But every single time Solar resets the tank count. Oh. Off center. Pace was off center. Cure still pushing through. And where is said Viper? Not coming in. Okay, full of energy. Tanks are clumped. We can blind in cloud. Oh. Yeah, that's with the Viper. There's blind in cloud. 2 tanks that go down for free. And again, Solar stabilizing. He's looking to stabilize at the same time. Ooh, counter drop across the map. Cure going for the expansion actually, and it looks like he will get it. Just barely. 2 hatcheries go down. Massive pickoffs. Solar stuck on 3 bases, by the way. Solar, he needs money. He's running out of steam, running out of resources. Solar suddenly on a 1 base economy. Solar, he will clean this up, but again, Cure, he's on 4 bases himself with gold minerals. Yeah, Cure's getting out of hand. He's getting out of hand. Solar mined out of his main. He's mining out of his own natural. He's on a 1.5 base economy. Double expanding. Solar does go for the run by. Doesn't get much done. Distracting Cure. Does try to distract. Cure claiming a 5th expansion. Ay. It's becoming too much. And now Cure's focusing on the southern army, on the southern bases. Comes in from behind. He can force a cancel. Ooh, that's a kill, not a cancel. Oh no. It's too much, man. And Cure's almost maxed. He's almost maxed out. And again, like a really nice recovery out of Cure. Remember, winding it back, Cure had a disastrous start when it came to his 3-max. His 3-max sim timing did 0 damage. And Soul was getting a 4th base, building up a greater economy. Remember, what were the MVPs this game? The Liberators. They killed, what was it? 20 plus drones? It was insane. GG gets called. Solar runs out of steam, and Cure, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew, GG. Sorry, it was 40. It was 40 drones. 40 drones went down at the start of the game to 4 Liberators. That was insane damage. GG, well played. Cure will take a lead in the series. Again, Cure had a very shaky start to the game as he was hyper committed, hyper aggressive on 2 bases, but then Liberation arrived and Solar had a very hard time rotating and defending against Liberators. He lost 40 drones, and with that, Cure was able to gain a momentum, gain a lead, take more bases, build up a greater economy, and snowball out of control. GG, well played. It was still quite close and quite clutch in the mid game, at least when it came to Solar trying to engage ahead of time, but alas, he was still torn apart. And with that, Cure takes game 1. Takes game number 1. Now we're loading to game number 2. Here we go. So we're loading this game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Rainfall. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing himself. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is Cure. Let's go. Let us go as we are calming things down and building up into Rainfall. Once again, Cure is going to be going for the 2x opener, whether it's 2x Reaper or 2x Marine. What's it going to be? I'm not opposed to him going for a 2x Marine opener 2 games in a row and then having a different follow-up. I'm not fond of the idea of seeing the same build 2 games in a row, but the opener I'm okay with. So we'll see. We'll see what Cure goes for, whether it goes 2x Marine or 2x Reaper. Shows what you got as he's leaving room here for said add-on. Sleeping room. Behind this pool for us at a Solar. Welcome to Rainfall. Rainfall is a small map of the map pool. Short resistance by ground. Aggression is favored here. And I guess technically if Cure were to go for the same build, it should hit harder on Rainfall. The problem though is that Soul is going to be more mentally prepared for that build. Is the issue. So we have our gas on the way. For now, once again, pull hatch gas opener out of Solar. We have been seeing this more commonly here on these smaller maps. And we have our Reaper production. So this time 2x Reaper out of Cure. 2x Reaper. Players are opening up. From here, Curie can apply some pressure, harass, contain. Solo already went pool first though, so I don't really see these Reapers doing much more damage. Solo was already going for a delayed expansion. It was already happening. Breaks in. Just confirms the build of choice. Confirms the later expand. As you can see, the creep. Oh, and the Zerglian does try to slip by here, but the Reapers at home to defend, and they will shut this down. Yeah, no delay on the CC. And no confirmation of the follow-up either. It's going to be a 2-1-1. Okay, so much more standard build here. 2-Act Reaper into a 2-1-1. This time we're going to be hitting a little bit earlier with less Marines, but with Medivacs. Solo is yet to confirm. Does have the Overlord. Oh. That's Reapers they pick in. Nice control of Curie. Does snipe the Tumor. Very nice. Tumor goes down, Cure pulls away. Cure perks in, does pull away. Behind this we have Link Speed and Production, and we're pulling out of gas. So Solo just playing standard, leading in towards the early to mid game. Again, Cure is going for the earlier sim timing with reactive Medivac production. Followed by the third CC. So much faster third base this game at a Cure. Again, the 2-on-1 should just be to apply some pressure to threaten the economy a little bit, to trade with the army. But ideally to set up for the follow-up push. To deny creep. Set the stage. From here, Solo, he does confirm. I believe he saw the research. Yes, he saw the research here on the, and he saw the add-ons as well. He's aware of Stim at least. Again, in Solo's mind, he doesn't know if it's going to be the 3x follow-up again. But he saw the third. Never mind. He saw the third CC. He knows. He's aware this is a much more standard build. It's much less committed. And this time, Carapace, Lings, and Queens should be enough. And Curie does catch a couple of tumors. Two more tumors going down. Curie rotates towards the left hand side. Stim is almost done. Very awkward start because it still did make the one Hellion, so it's a little bit awkward. Can break in. Spots the fourth expansion. And we're waiting for the main army. We're waiting for the reinforcements. Now loading up, coming in. He's going to be coming in. Solo not quite in position to defend. The Queen's going to be going down. He gets one. And one Queen falls. There was just the one transfuse, catching out the overload as well, and can we deny the expansion? It's going to be close. Yeah, it's going to be close here. Bailey's will in, Hatchery gets low, but Solo will save it. That's way too soon. Again, nice trades here by Cure. Trading well, shaving off Zerglings. 18 more Lings in production. And again, the Hatchery should survive. Should survive here. Secure perks in, pulls away. Force to pick up. Dropping into the main, actually. And as all this is happening, CranKy expands. They're basically up and running, getting fully saturated. Cure building up his own economy. Oh. Catching out a spore. But again, doesn't get the expansion. Now remember, we're all just setting up here for the 1-1 timing. 1-1 is on the way. Combat shields, tanks are going to be pushing as well. This does usually hit now, so we should be seeing Cure move out in a couple of seconds. Usually hits between 7 and 8 minutes, but that's in the previous patch, to be fair. This Banshee dips into the main base. No spore. 2 drones going down. Almost the queen as well. Gonna get the queen. Oh, not quite. And here comes our main push. Yeah, it does hit a little like does hit around a minute later. I still don't have my timings down when it comes to the new patch. The 7-minute push has turned into the 8-minute push. True, true. And the goal here is to break the 4th. We'll see if Cure can. 4th base is low, but this time there are plenty of banelings. There's plenty of ling as well. No baneling speed. Uh-oh. Okay, baneling speed still not yet done, and Solar he evacuates. He knows he cannot defend. The 4th base does go down. A nice setup, nice payoff. Cure shuts down the 4th. Dancing with the Zerglings. Baneling speed just now finishing. And with Baneling speed finishing up, I don't see Cure pushing in. Yeah, he backs off. He respects Baneling speed, pulls away, was able to hit his timing, kill the expansion. Now we can back off and rotate. And now we have a back and forth. At this point, it's going to be up to Solar to maintain a 4th. But remember, because this map is so small, these rotations, they hit so quickly. They hit so fast. Solar trying to engage. Get us back in. Okay, breaks in, pulls away. Solar setting up for a counterattack, or even us around. And can Solar pull this off? A couple of Hydras are massing. Solar about to pull the trigger. Oh, he's going for the counterattack. Does move out. Coming in from behind instead. Surrounding the tanks. A couple of them are unsieged. And force big up. Yeah, Marines, they get caught out here as well. Very nice cleanup. Every tank will fall. Cure, he will lose everything. And Solar, he snowballs out of control. Takes out the main army. Now he just counterattack and break the 3rd. As Cure plummets in supply. Again, the Marines got surrounded. Could not pull away. And we have a series. We're looking to have a series back. As Cure, he'll barely hold on here. Switching into Widow Mines. But again, those are some brutal losses for Cure. Oof. That was how many? That was 5 tanks. 5 tanks, 49 Marines. Again, some brutal losses there for Cure. It was a nice setup, but again, that rotation, it just got shut down. CranKy has to recover. Ideally, he wants to distract. Does find some queens off creep. Oh my god. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 queens going down. Nice catch. That was 4 queens. Ideally, though, Cure one of the expansion. But settles with the queens. Likewise, Tim's on the right hand side, clearing up creep. Oh. We got some okay mine connections. Okay. Again, still on a knife's edge. Cure establishing a 4th. Fit CC's on the way as well. The base count is looking decent here from Cure, and he's somewhat keeping up. The issue that I have, though, is that the moment that the drop play subsides, the moment that Solar gains map control, which he still does not quite have, it's going to be difficult to defend these bases. Like, these bases are much more open, much more exposed, and There's very little to defend back over Cure. Cure, he's relying heavily here on just fighting Soul for map control and keeping him busy. Not easy to pull off. Not easy. It's at the mine. Oh. Oh, dragging mine shots as well. Forcing a bit of friendly fire. Dropping to the main base. Spores out of position. Drops take it in. Get in, unable to unload though, not enough bio. Oh. Yeah, nice catch. Curie delays the stick. Oof. Yeah, he does delay. Oh my god, mine shots being baited out. But so far, decent trading by Cure. He trades well overall. Trades well, contains the bases. Solar, he still needs some more breathing room. He's still being contained. There's still barely any creep on the map. I mean, a big part of that, of course, did lose all the queens earlier. But he's now taken up. Hive is done. A lurker's now morphing in. And with these lurkers, Solar can slow the game down. Oh my god. Mine shots. The value mines. Is that a kill? Cancel. It's a cancel on the hatchery. Lurkers in position. Oh, you're in hold position. Ah, not quite. Solar moving out. Yeah, it does not mind it. You can see here just how little there is to defend. Like, the moment the Solar can counterattack these bases, they're going down. Like, 100%. They're just falling one after the other. Massive reductions, taking down 2 tanks. Cure tries to get it in. And he will get on top of the expansion. Meanwhile, Solar turns around. Ooh, okay. Solar here on Boris. He turns everything back around. Hatchery falls. I assumed that Solar was just going to commit, but no. He's throwing back for this. Drops into the main. Yeah, Lings, they don't trade too well here, but they do get a nice surround. Good service area. Yeah, very nice surround here in the main. Ooh, punishing the Bio Army. Cure, he will plummet in supply. He was not clumped up. At the same time, lurkers, they harass the mineral lines. Thankfully, they did not come home to defend. And we're getting messy. We're getting messy. They're dropping on the high ground. They're trying to catch out more workers, but won't quite be able to. We'll lose a full medevac. Oh my god. Full medevac goes down. Drop back into the main. The brutal powerbomb. And Cure is running out of steam a little bit here. He's running out of steam. He's beating out too much. Shout out to the Liberator once again. The MVP. Lurkers, they make their way into the mineral lines. Hopefully we have another scan. Uh-oh. Doesn't. Yeah, it does not have a scan. No scan. Oh, he stays in. Does him in. Oh, we still need a scan though. There it is. Just barely. He's up with the lurkers. A little bit messy. Messy, Pat. And Cure's punching up as best he can. It's been a very shaky game here for Cure. There's been a couple of moments of brilliance though, where he's been able to out-trade and out-control Solar. A couple of moments, but oh, yeah, still not going to be enough. Our Soul's able to re-expand. Still has a healthy drone count. I can't say the same for Cure. Cure does make it back home. He makes it back. Solar's remaxed, and Cure, he needs so much more time to do so himself. He's doing what he can. And Cure is trying to be active, but this map is just so punishing once you lose map control. So punishing. Storm is on the way. Solo's maxed. I don't really see Ghost helping too much here, to be honest. We've got a couple of Ghosts. Ling Bane does roll in. Land a card on the army. And Cure, he has to pull away. Yeah, he has to pull away. Ooh, massive losses here. Losing his tank line, losing his bio. Bailey's here roll in. He wants the Ghost. He wants them. Ooh. And it does connect. 13 SCVs. A handful of Ghosts go down. Nice into the main base lurkers. They get into the main. They bust in. The Lunker's back. GG. GG gets called. And Solar ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a very rough start here from Cure. Cure, he did open up 2 racks. He went for a 2-on-1 into an 8-minute double tank push. Was able to kill the 4th base, but he was unable to successfully rotate to deny the center expansion. Instead, he got surrounded. He got shut down. We saw a brutal fight there where Solo just completely shut down the army, took a massive supply lead. We thought the game would just end then and there, but Cure, he was able to somewhat try to stabilize, got away with some drop play, killed some workers, killed some bases. He still made a game out of it somewhat, but Cure was playing from behind. He was punching up from that moment and was never quite able to recover. GG. GG well played with that Solidus claim of the game, sorry. And now we're getting to game number 3 to see who takes the lead in the series. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting into game number 3. Going to be on At Attorney's Edge. Oh, just making sure we have all of our casters. We are loading into game 3. And we'll see how Cure will change his approach here. Game 1, he went 2 ranks Marine. Game 2 went 2 ranks Reaper. Game 3, do we play Standard this time? Do we still get 2 axes? Let's go. Bearing in mind this is a larger map of the map pool. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground. True. Spawning in the bottom hand corner of At Attorney's Edge, we have the red Zerg player himself, the South Korean Zerg. It is Solar, tying up the series 1-1. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is a Cure. Here we go. The mine's not looking like an equalizer to the Zerg hordes. I would not say that game was would kind of like push that narrative. As a reminder, Cure, he did lose momentum and he did lose control of the map much earlier, in reference to the 8-minute push, in reference to his attempted rotation and losing everything in the center. And because the map is so small, we saw that the punish was even more brutal on Rainfall as well. So bear that in mind. We have yet to really see Cure play very mine heavy in this series. Hasn't happened yet. We saw that at ByuN. If you watched ByuN's series versus Solar earlier in the semifinals, that was a better representation of ByuN, specifically against attempted Muta play, where Solar did struggle heavily against the Mutas. And as soon as the Muta play failed, then from that moment in the series, we saw more Hydra heavy play instead out of Solar. We mentioned this earlier, and it's still too early to really make these conclusions, but because of the mine buff, it may lead to Zerg players playing Mutas less, because now Lingbane Muta is much more punishable by the mines, and it may incentivize more Hydra play instead. But again, it's too early to really confirm that one way or the other, but that is a way that the meta can kind of like go down a route of the meta. Which would be a shame, you know, that it is always fun seeing Bio versus Muta play, versus Lingbane Muta. For now though, it was an early pool. Earlier pull, delayed expansion. We do have our 6 lings, I believe. Yep, 6 lings moving out across the map. They do skirt around the edge to avoid any kind of SCV scouts. And this time it is going to be Rax expand on the high ground as well. It is going to be Reaper first, so Curie does move out. No SCV scouts, so Curie will have a bit of a delayed reaction as to what's going on. And we'll see if Solar can delay the CC. And he will. Yes, SCV goes down. Boys are being pulled. Marine has to defend. And the Reaper is across the map. So a bit of a messy start. Can we force a cancel? No shot. Yeah, the CC gets low. Cure should hold. And hopefully we'll minimize his losses here as he gets... Oh, another SCV. 2 more. 3 in total. Messy defense here by Cure as he does not pull back the weakened workers. 3 SCVs going down. And so far, this was worth it for Solar. He delays the command center. Kills 3 SCVs. Defends against the Reaper. And Solar can now build up. Can now build up back at home. Behind this, we do see Cure. Oh my god. Going for his 3rd TC. Floats up the factory to hunt down the Overlord and is going for a very fast 3rd command center here before Starport. Again, a very cheeky start here. Now, because of the floating factory, that will delay Hellion production, unfortunately. So later Hellion production. It's going to be a bit of a weaker presence on the map as a result of that. And Soul's going to be more free to drone. So now we can drone, now we can saturate. We'll see if Cure goes into the Atom Swap into Cloak Banshee or just regular Banshee. We'll see how hard he commits. And where the game leads us. As Solar, he is going to be mining his gas. So it does then eventually saturate. There we go, it is going to be Cloak Banshee. We'll see if Solar goes Lair first or Eva Chambers first. We'll see how greedy or how safe Solar wants to be. Again, because Solo lost the Scouting Overlord, I would recommend getting a faster Lair. He might go one step further and get a faster Bailey Nest. There it is. Okay, faster Lair. So Lair first here by Solar. Is going to play it safe. We'll have access to the earlier Overseer. Spores are on the way as well. Nice catch on the Overlord. Supply blocking Solar. Brutal supply block, 3 Overlords now on the way. But I believe the Spores should finish in time. Spores will complete. They're not quite in position to defend against Banshees. One of them is a little bit further back to help against Liberators instead. So there is a bit of an opening. But for the most part, Solar should be able to hold on. Switchy moves out. Stim is on the way. Building up into ByuN. Everything's looking relatively standard. I say relatively just because it was still a bit of a shakier start. We've built up to 8 Hellions. Jesus. That's a lot. Curie does threaten the 4th. Ideally keeping the Queens busy. Banshee moving in towards the 3rd. But there are 3 Queens. Yeah, we have 3 Queens in position and the Spore as well. Oh, Queen's ready. Does snipe 1. We won 2 Queens. Very nice catch here by Cure, bringing everything together. Yeah, speaking with the Queens. Lings 8 try to keep up. Gotta be zoned away. And even though we don't deny the 4th base, Curie does trade well. Trades well. Pure 26 Lings and 3 Queens. Does keep rotating. Banshees into the main. This is getting a bit out of hand. Hellions, they don't quite make it into the mineral line. No, he gets in. Yeah, it does get in. Workers able to line up. But Solar defends. Yeah, Solar, he does defend. He's able to react well enough. Banshees they rotate towards the third base, but no meaningful damage here. Only 3 drone kills. Only 3 drones. Zola, he holds. He defends. Now we can brace 1-1. Bailing speed is on the way as well. And Cure, he will now lose map control. Now he's going to be stuck at home. We can try to hit with 1-1, but that's going to be a much later timing with this build for Cure. Remember last game he pushed it at 8 minutes. This time he's stuck at home. I say that he's going to go for a bit of an earlier move out. Okay. This is going to be with 1 tank. There are going to be some medevacs. I mean, the problem is that he can't leave Solar alone, but at the same time, I don't really have too much faith in this army, so... Yes, Q's moving out with a second tank. Bailing speed is finishing up in 10 seconds. Curie scans, does spot the army. Let's try to rotate. Trying to bait the army in. Okay. He's fishing for damage. And Sola, he has drawn up to 80. At this point, he's drawn up to 80 workers. He has a booming economy here. Again, the early game was rough for Cure. To lose all the Hellions, lose all the presence. This push has lost a lot of its teeth as a result of that. And Sola's about to max, by the way. And Cure, he has to get out of here before he loses everything. Decent position here in the choke point. But Cure, he has to make it back home. He's still trying to rotate in the center. Okay, he's going to reinforce. Let's go. He's pushing out, and he may even deny the 5th. Yeah, 5th base is exposed. It's going to go down at the same time. Solo, he does come into the mineral line. Wings, they do head for the SCVs. Bailey's they roll in, and workers they are going to go down. Tank as well. The tank should barely fall. It's going to be 17, 18 SCV kills. And 19 SCVs falling. Brutal damage to Cure. At the same time, Cure does kill the hatchery, but Solo didn't lose any drones. Didn't lose any workers. Getting another base. Getting another expansion. I will say that the Cure, at least he does actually maintain this army. If he had bled out some units here, then I'd be more skeptical at this. But no, like, he has a very, very threatening force. No Viper yet. Oh. Solo trying to catch reinforcements. Attempts to set up a flank. Catches who? Oh! Thanks to do siege in time. And Sola's still looking for damage. Does catch some Marines and some SCVs. And Worker's going to be under threat. This has become a pretty entrenched position here for Cure. He's up to what, 4 tanks? Sorry, 5. 5 tanks and a lot of Marines. But I believe now there's a Viper. Yeah, Viper has arrived. Solo's setting for the surround. He does move in. Viper's a little bit late. Yeah, Viper's a bit late. A Lottling Bane goes down. Ooh, this was not the fight. Ay. Solo throwing away supply. And Cure's done it. Cure, he has done it. He has broken this position. Hatchery goes down. Hydroden as well. Again, Cure, the Viper was too late. The flank was too early. It all fell apart. And that might just be game. Just a rough engage there from Solar. The Viper now trying to move in. Blinding Cloud does catch 2 tanks. But again, there's just so many Marines here. So much bio. Oof. Solo trying to hold on to the ramp. He's got his lurkers. Oh, getting with the range of 2 of them. It's going to get a little bit messy here. Does focus on 1 lurker. Solo does still have 4 bases up and running, but so does Cure. So Cure, he has a stronger economy. He has more production, he has map control, all the creep is being denied. And again, it just came down to this one engagement. When it came to the setup here, if Solo was able to successfully catch the reinforcements in time, then he most likely cleans this up. So if he caught the reinforcements, if he was able to even backstab or counterattack here up the ramp as well to catch units there instead, if he had waited for the Viper to move in to be able to blinding cloud the tanks, if he had waited for a bit of a cleaner engage with the flanking army as well, like there were a lot of things that kind of went awry there for Solar. But Solar, hey, he does get 2 tanks. Not bad. 1, 2 tanks go down. Cure's army is split. Yeah, he does split up his own army. Solar breaking out. Defends his 4th base. Solar's still in this. Now getting 3/3 upgrades. I still do favor Cure in a head-on fight, but remember, Cure has a lot of supply elsewhere. Drops here on the south, drop on the top side as well. Cure is fighting with like 1/3 of his army. Uh-oh. Yeah, tanks are on their own. And Solo moves in. He moves in. He wants those tanks. And he will get them. It's a little bit messy here with the banelings, but he does get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks. Tanks are going down, and Cure's going for the base trade. He's going, oh no! The lurkers! He runs in! The move command! GG gets called! He runs into the lurkers, Pappy. And with that, Solar, he will take game number 3, taking a lead in the series. GG. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. Again, Cure, he had that game in the bag. He was very successful when it comes to building up on 4 bases, better economy, better army as well. But as we mentioned, Cure, he split up his own forces, right? He had 2 full medevacs on the south side. He had like 4 full medevacs on the top right as well. So Cure, he had his army split throughout the entire map. He had very little to defend back at home. He had a lot of tanks, but no support for the tanks. So Solar, he just said, screw it. Let's just go for the counterattack. Let's just send it across the map. And Cure, he had not enough to defend back at home. He struggled to decide, do I go back home to defend? Do I counterattack? Pushed across and lost everything. GG. GG, well played. Whew. So again, a very, very intense game there. Cure did fumble the ball. Solar, he was able to claw his way back into it towards the end there. And with that, we have a series. Solar, he's now 1 game away from claiming the series. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting into our next game and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Sun Temple, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg leading the series 2-1, and 1 game away from claiming the series. It is a Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player. The blue Terran player himself, representing Team Liquid. It is a Cure. And yo, feels bad, man. Like again, at Attorney's Edge, Game 3, that was Cure's game. He had done well building up his army, getting across the map, fortifying his position, breaking the low ground expansion, pushing in towards a natural. But after he had found himself with a lead, like it felt like Cure didn't really know what to do. I'm referring to, if you remember, I said like things getting messy. When he started to drop into the natural, he was like dropping into the natural. He split up his army, going for drop play instead. Again, he decided to kind of like relinquish map control and relinquish like the idea of going for these big main pushes. And as a result, his army was fragmented, right? He fragmented his own army, which allowed Solar to engage the army 1 portion at a time, which allowed him to recover. And with that, we find ourselves in game number 4. Solar needs one more game to claim the series. Cure going CC first, which is standard on the Old Sun Temple. Welcome to a 4-player spawn map. Solar will find Cure immediately. Solar does move out and will find the CC. Remember, there's a 4-player spawn map, so you can spawn in any corner of said map. So Solar, he will confirm Kira's position. And depending on the Overlord movement, it is possible that Kira might not see the Overlord before the Overlord sees him. There's a chance. As the Overlord will get eyes on the building racks. And the SCV should not see this. Oh, do we react in time? No minute. Does see the Overlord. Yeah, the Overlord is revealed, and with that, Kira is now aware of the spawn location. He saw the Overlord coming in from left-hand side. So both players are now aware. Solo confirms that it is CC first, so it looks like he was just double-checking to make sure there was no shenanigans going on. Oh, and I like this reaction, Roach all in. Now again, when it comes to CC first builds like this, you can punish this with Roach aggression. The reasoning for this, of course, is because your factory is going to be delayed, but not just that. Because of the CC first, that means no SCV scout and no Reaper scout. So zero scouting at a Kira, which is common with CC first. That is the risk you take for cutting all those corners, and Solo wants to punish the greed. He wants to punish. So here we go. Roach is going to be amassing. Here we go. As Roach production has begun, here we go. We're moving out. 6 Roaches. Going to be 6 Roaches here for Solar. Bearing in mind that Solar is joining behind this, but the goal of these Roaches is to cripple. Kira. To punish the greed. Kira behind this. He is still not aware of what's going on.
Complete.
Oof. He's going into Reactor Marine with singular Hellion production. There's no safety bunker, of course. Yeah, no safety bunker. There's no need to because Kira doesn't know, right? He's unaware. With that, Roaches, they waddle forward. They ignore the natural. They go straight for the main. Go for the reactor. Some ways to DPS it, but there we go. The reactor's going to go down. ByuN connects as well. Breaks through the wall. Busts in. 1 Roach will fall. Oh, yeah, unable to morph in time. Doesn't save the Roach. Boys are being pulled. Do we avoid this around? So far, nice kiting. Nice kiting. ByuN turns away the army. 1 Roach does fall. Down to 3. 3 Roaches left. Oh, calm down. Bit of friendly fire. As we pick off 9 SCVs so far. And Kira, he will defend, but it's all about the damage being done here. It's all about that damage. As the army is deflected. Does pick up a Hellion. We could try to pile down the Widowmine. And in the end, it was 9 SCVs, 1 Hellion, a Depot, Reactor, 4 Marines for 3 Roaches. 3 Roaches. So, honestly, a good trade. Solar, he's now ahead. He has a high worker count. He's getting a 3rd base. He's taking up. Link speed is now on the way. It was delayed because of the Roach push, of course. As you do want to skip link speed for that. And as long as Solar can survive the counterattack, he should be fine. Speaking of counterattack, no Banshee play. It is going to be the earlier medevac. And there's a lot of pressure here on this medevac to get damage done. Pressure's on Kira. There's layers to this as Kira is going for the Cloak Banshee follow-up. Okay. John moves in. Links are ready. Kira, he should not get much done with this. Oh, so medevac takes a lot of damage. Uh-oh. Is it just going to go down? Oh my god! Yeah, medevac is barely alive. Does unload in the main. Barely gets away. No, medevac falls. Some brutal losses here. As the Queen will survive. It tanks the Widowmine shot. Tanks it well. And Kira will lose the medevac and lose everything. Did he kill any drones? No. 0 economic damage. Ay, ay, ay. Rough drop there for Kira. You could argue that Kira, he forced out all these Zerglings at least, I suppose. We should delay some of the droning, but yeah, it's looking a little bit shaky. Behind this, we do have that Cloak Banshee follow-up. And do we have any spores? There's a spore here at the Gas Geysers. Likewise, no spore in the main. There is potential. There is potential. The first Banshee's out. Work is activated, running into the spore immediately. Does run in. Does make a pass. Scouts the spire as well. Big scout here by Cure. Big scout. And remember, there's no spore in the main. The queen is low from earlier. Uh-oh. Yeah, the queen is low. Drone's going to be going down. Do a transfuse. Oh my god. Clutch transfuse. And solo holds. But what's important is that at least Cure scouted. With this, we can now react and respond with turrets, with anti-air. I mentioned earlier that Muta play, I felt like was going to be less viable in ZVT, but I believe the reasoning as to why we're going into Mutas is because of the momentum that Solar has. She just said momentum. As we have 8, now 9 Mutas in production. The Mutas that can hunt down the Banshees and likewise counterattack across the map. Did Curious see what he saw? I say this just because, yeah, we're going to try to do this without any turrets. We have Marines, we're going to have Stim, Widow Mines as well. It's just quite risky. There, okay, we're good, we're good. 3 turrets on the way. They will be done in time. We'll finish up. Mutas poke into the main base, but again, turrets are in position. Despite that, the gas geyser is going to go down. And Curie pushes. I do like this. Again, Mutas, they do struggle defensively. They're built to harass, they're built to be an annoyance. When it comes to these main fights, though, they're not ideal. And the Lingbane army is weaker as a result of the Mutas. Mutas rotate. Oh! Distracting Cure. There's a Ravager and a Roche here with the main army. Branch is going for the 4th base. Mutas hit the natural. They get 1 SCV. Ooh, and that's going to be a kill? Cancel. Okay, that's going to be a cancel. Oh! Ooh, my shot goes off. As we mentioned in the lead up to this series, Widow Mines are a lot more punishing here against Mutas. Much more punishing. And Curie stabilizing. Stabilizing. Again, the 4th base is very late for Solar. Very late. Solar, he chose to counterattack with the Mutas and not to shut down the Banshees. Chose not to hunt them down. He paid the price for it. And Cure, can we force that ace match? Yes, once again, the base is going to be denied. Solar just can't expand. He just wants a 4th base. There's a cancel. Once again, Muta's out of position. Draws a knife the wolf from opening. Okay. Again, we are right next to each other. That's what's brutal about this position here. One bad fight for either player, and the game will end. You can see we're on the same screen. that's how close the distance is here on the Ultim Temple if you have close spawns. We're on the same screen, Bappy. And again, one bad fight, you're just 1 base away from the natural. Right? You're 1 base away from the natural base. So games that can end very quickly. Both armies are maxing out. Ooh. Mind Shot goes off, punishing the Mutas. The Mutas are softened up. Pulls away. Hive has just now begun. We're still a ways away from Ultras, from Vipers. He's pushing. Shots, line shots. Again, Solar has to be so careful with the Lingbane. And I don't know if Solar can ever engage this. There's just too many mines. 13. Yeah, the mines are setting up. And Solar, he has to bait them out. He has to bait them out one at a time. Or just over time. Oh. Decent catch. Going for the run by. Okay, Kira pushing into the bases. At the same time, Lings, they do hit the planetary. Big distraction. CC force to be lifted. At the same time, Kira trying to gain ground. Hive is almost complete. Getting to 2-2. Oh, mine shots going off. Nice connections. They shut down Zerglings. And there's still more mines. Yeah, there's still more mines here. As we mentioned, Solar just cannot engage. Not like this. Picks up a couple of Marines. Lings, nice run by. Gets in. Yeah, Lings, they bust into the mineral line. Muse, they do hit the northern base. Base is going down, but here comes the main army. Curie commits. They want to move the main army instead. Oh my god, not other connections! No splits! Yeah, no splits. Bailey's, they connect. Marines going to be going down. Curie plummets in supply. Ay. The splits were not there. Again, the mines were behind this, but he didn't kite back to the Widow Mines either. Again, he's got a minefield to use, but he wasn't able to make use of it. Oh my god. Yeah, mine shots are going off, but again, 32 SCV kills, critical damage, and again, Cure, he fumbled the ball when it came to this fight. He was unable to kite back to all these Widow Mines. He just sent it up the ramp. He was crazy. It looked like desperation, if not impatience, from Cure. Due to the fact he was losing bases, right? Due to the counterattack. And with that, Cure's falling apart. Cure's stuck on 3 bases. He has no 4th expansion. He has no further economy. Solar taking more bases, now taking the northern bases as well. Cure still has 1 fight in him, but there's no longevity here. Not anymore. Just 1 fight. That's all he's got. Trying to set up. Trying to move in. Spreads well. Oh my god. Again, like, the mine shots are very solid, but this one is too late. It's too late, Pappy. And Soul just has to play it slow. Just take it slow. Let the army come to you. Little Knights try to burrow. Balins, they crash into the Thors. Again, very inefficient fight here from Solar. He just has to rebuild. He just has to rebuild. Meanwhile, Cure, again, he's all in. He's all in. It's all or nothing. He has to stay in. Denies the Balings. We have 5 Ultras on the way. Oh my god, the Overlords. Can we supply block? Yeah, you can try. Mutas, they race back home to defend. Where are the Ultras? They're still coming. Ultras are still on the way. Now trickling in. We come in from behind. And with the help of the Ultras, Solar holds. GG gets called. Solar, he will claim the series 3-1. And Solar will be this week's PiGosaur Cup number 88 champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very, very intense last 2 games here as Solar, he was struggling. Solar, he was struggling to expand, struggling to build up his 4th base, struggling to find any damage with the mutas as well. But eventually we saw 2 key things happen at the same time. We saw that, I guess 3 things. Lings, they were able to delay the 4th expansion, so that set up distracting Cure. Then we saw a Ling run by into the 3rd base. At the same time, Mutas hit the 4th base as well. 4th base was killed. SCVs were being picked off as well. And it was in that moment of chaos where Cure decided to push in. Where, I say decided, felt like he was forced to push in because he knew that he couldn't defend his 4th base and he was losing workers. There was a lot of pressure on Cure to engage, so he pushed up the ramp, he clumped up his army, and he got hit in the face with a massive amount of banelings. He lost the entire fight and he lost the game then and there. As we were trying to emphasize, there were like 5 or 6 Widow Mines behind him, but because of the pressure that was on him, he chose to push up that ramp in that moment. He wasn't able to split his army, wasn't able to spread, and he lost everything in that moment. GG, well played. With that, Solo was able to claim the series and become this week's champion. GG, well played. Congratulations, Solo, he will claim the series. And again, a very intense back and forth here. Cure, I can definitely see a world where Cure either wins the series or does force the ace match. I'm thinking of this game, for example, where things are a little bit too chaotic all at once. Or even the last game as well on At Attorney's Edge, where Cure was dominating. Like, Cure, he was dominating, he was just bullying Solar. And then, if you recall, like, Cure, he fragmented his own army, which made it easier for Solar to engage and to cause chaos and to bring it back. But regardless, GG well played. I will say that, again, this is the first tournament of the new patch, of the hotfix, and things are looking much better here. I will say that in games past, so if you maybe are a little bit unfamiliar with StarCraft over the past week, the kind of play that Cure was going for here was not viable. We saw that Terran players that were going for non-stop either all-ins or hyper-defensive play, but we saw very little mid-game just because Zerg players would very quickly overwhelm, get comfortable, and snowball out of control and dominate that mid-game. Like, the mid-game was very difficult for Terran. Here it was a little more back and forth, if not even like Cure favored. Like, as I mentioned, like on at Attorney's Edge, and even here on the Old Sun Temple as well, like we can definitely see a world where Cure could have taken these games, but things got very chaotic and very intense. And I mean, again, shout out to Solar for recovering after being in a really rough position, but again, it was a little more dynamic. I think that's maybe the best word to use here. Like, this series was a lot more dynamic, despite what the score might say, which was good, which I appreciate. Definitely a step in the right direction in regards to the changes to the larva, but also a big part of that as well was the Widowmine changes as well. That also did actually impact a lot of these games and made the Lingbane Muta play a lot more intense and a lot more cutthroat for sure, which you could argue is a good thing or a bad thing. As I mentioned before, it's still too early to tell whether this dissuades Muta play entirely. I would hope not. I would hope that that it just makes the skill the skill level to entry a little bit more difficult for me to play, which might not be the worst thing, but we'll see. Time will tell, right? Time will tell. It's still day one, we're still hours into the patch, so it's still very early to come to any big conclusions to that. When it comes to the patch itself, it's interesting for sure. There are some interesting changes made to ZVP when it comes to the force fields, which I'm looking forward to. If you remember, this was actually a suggestion that was posed at the beginning of the patch. I think this is a Patches change, right? Like, Patches, he made his own custom mod quite some time ago, and I think this was one of the changes he made, where Biles, they reduced the duration by 50% instead of outright destroying the force field. There were two I think he tested two different things. It was either it was this, which is 50%, or the other change was that force fields would become destructible with HP, like rocks, where when they get thrown down they have their own HP pool instead. So he was testing those two changes, and in the end Blizzard went with this one, which again I think is just a straight like Patches change, by the way. Which does make gateway play and sentry-based all-ins and sentry-based play much more viable against Zerg, which is going to be an interesting change to the meta for sure. We also had the nerf to the mothership, which I think is a good thing. Right now we've been seeing a lot of mothership rushes in ZVP, quite heavily actually, from players like Hero, Max Packs, Classic. Mothership rushes has become very meta over the past week, just because of the strength of the mothership. And yeah, we'll see. I still feel like we're probably going to get more hotfixes, at least one more. I do think that that a couple of things are going to happen here because of the larva change. Now we're going to be seeing a lot more mid-game ZVP and ZVT. If you remember, the biggest criticism that I had about the larva change, one, it was really strong, obviously, and that was seen very quickly, it was very apparent very quickly. But the biggest issue with it was that it forced players to play differently, so we couldn't actually see many of the changes, right? It forced again, hyper aggressive or hyper defensive play from Protoss and Terran. So over the past week of StarCraft, because of how strong the larva change was, we did not get to experience much mid game, so we couldn't really see the impact of, say, like the gateway changes or how the meta could otherwise evolve in these matchups because of how strong like Zerg growth was in the mid game. So now we're going to be able to see more of that. We're going to be able to see more of this, what we just saw here between Cure and Solar. We're going to see a little more mid-game, a little more aggression here. And then we can see, like, especially when it comes to Protoss, especially when it comes to the gateway changes, whether there needs to be more changes made there as well. So I feel like we're probably going to get another hotfix at some point. That's my vibe, at least. That's my feeling. But we'll see. Just to, like, refine now what we have, now what we have in StarCraft. Let's go. Just catching up. Is it 50% absolute or 50 remaining? I believe it's 50% absolute. Oh, sorry, 50% remaining. Sorry, I meant to say that. So 50% of whatever is left in the force field. I'll link in the chat. Link in the chat. So 50% remaining. I'll link it in the YouTube chat as well. Beautiful. But yeah, with that, GG well played. Congratulations to the Solar, congratulations. And again, like I would say that so far the patch is moving in a positive direction, but I feel like we're probably going to see, I say we probably are, we should see another hotfix. We should be seeing another one, hopefully in a week's time, maybe in 2 weeks' time. I would imagine that the next big thing, of course, is going to be Homestead Cup this weekend, which will be on the live version of the game, and that will provide a lot, because of the format, there's going to be a lot of players, and it's going to be round robin as well. The downside is that it's happening days after this hotfix goes live, so there's very little time to adapt, so the amount of data that we get from Homestead Cup is going to be quite limited as a result of that, because the meta is still in flux. But hopefully it's able to give a better idea as to where the meta is going to be, kind of the direction of the meta, the direction of the matchups, and whether or not there are some things that are still too strong, still too weak, and whether there are other tweaks that can be made. Hopefully Homestead Cup is able to provide a bunch of data for that. Hopefully. Again, it's a shame that it happens so quickly and so close to the hotfix, so there's very little time for players to adapt. So that is a big downside, but that'll be the next big tournament to look at, for sure. For sure. You got a Homestead Cup this weekend. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Congratulations to Solar for claiming the tournament, for claiming the series, and shout out to Cure for coming in second place. And again, there's definitely a world where Cure could have won this series as well. Some very close games here towards the end in Game 3 and Game 4, respectively. Otherwise, let's head on over here and catch up on our schedule. Bam, as you can see here, we have our weekly schedule. This evening, we're going to be live with Kung Fu Cup. Kung Fu Cup is going to be the second tournament of the patch. That'll be this evening. Do expect a lot of Korean and European representation. Expect players like Hero, Classic, expect players like Clem, maybe Rainer. Rainer's very inconsistent when it comes to Kung Fu Cup tournaments. Max Pack, Showtime, and many others. So do look forward to it. Solar, Shin, a bunch of the Koreans. So we'll be there. We'll be there to cover Kung Fu Cup. Tomorrow morning, we have StarCraft Evolution. SEL is going to be Thursday and Sunday morning. And we have the CranKy Gatherers qualifier on Saturday as well. So a lot of tournaments on the horizon here. We have the Podcast Friday evening, where we'll be discussing the patch a little bit more in depth. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Gonna get passed out. Very tired. I have 3 hours of sleep. So I'm running on fumes, Pappy, running on fumes. But thank you so much. We appreciate it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys later on tonight for Kung Fu Cup, or tomorrow for SCL. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Until then, ciao, Pappy, ciao. Hasta luego. If you want to support us, you can do so by following us on YouTube. Again, we do upload to YouTube on a daily basis and all the socials as well. You can support us monetarily via Patreon if you wish. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments on a regular basis. You might be looking at this, you might be saying like, hold up, where's Tuna Cup? Like, don't you usually have Tuna Cup? This week, Tuna Cup is rescheduled and postponed. The reasoning for this is because this weekend is Homestead Cup, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday is booked up with Homestead Cup, and we had the RSL qualifiers this week as well. So we had RSL qualifiers, and we have CranKy Gatherers qualifiers, and we have Homestead Cup over the weekend. So because the week is fully booked up, we have rescheduled Tuna Cup to next week, or we're pushing it to next week. So just as a heads up there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Otherwise, we could be passing out. Fumes are a luxury. True. You're not wrong, Setsune. You're not wrong. I'm gonna pass out. See you later tonight. Until then, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.